have a $10 anonymous donation from Loving the Marathon. I lost my granny to cancer a couple years ago, and it's really inspiring to see such dedication and displays of skill for such a great cause. And a $40 anonymous donation comment is thanks to all of you. Thank you for the donations. Where's your mic? Can you hand yours over to your left?
Whoa. Yeah, is it working?
That's
All right.
working. It's at Yoshi's volume right now.
Thank you.
6, 5, 7. I think. No, he's 6. He has a GIMP 1.
Seven.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
6,
GIMP.
5, 7. Other one.
The GIMP one.
All right, what's the total on the WACA incentive?
I'll get that for you.
So Killing's winning then?
Yes.
All right.
You know, it's
I guess I'm ready to go.
been a while.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Anatomy, and I'm going to be running some Paper Mario any %. If you liked Pi's run at SGDQ, this run should entertain you as well. There's a lot of crazy sequence breaks I'm going to be doing that weren't really shown off at SGDQ. All right, so there's been a ton of stuff that's happened to this game in the past year. Throughout 2013, this is probably one of the most broken games of 2013, if not the most broken game. When I first picked up this game, the record for this game was just over 4 hours. Now the record for the game is down to 2:17. So in the span of a year, the game got cut almost in half by tricks. It used to be pretty clean, not a lot of stuff going on, but now there's a ton of tricks that break it up. So anyway, the way I move throughout the game is by spinning. It's the fastest way to move, and what I do at the end is I jump to cut my spin short. If I don't do that, there's an animation where Mario just kind of stops flat, so I have to make sure I jump out of all my spins. Otherwise, my movement's going to be really slow. All right. So the castle and the prologue in general is just really basic. It's pretty much just like a tutorial for the game. Just teaching you all the basic stuff. How all your stats work, like your badges, everything. Like, the game itself is your typical RPG. Like, you have, it's just turn-based combat. But the thing that makes this game unique is that there's a lot of movement and tricks involved, and those two things are generally what are going to decide your time, not the battles themselves. So this fight coming up is 100% scripted, but it's gonna let me show off a couple things that are pretty subtle that I'm gonna be doing throughout the run. So, first of all, for anyone who hasn't played the game, there's 3 major stats in the game that you have. You have HP, you have FP, which is basically your mana, and you have badge points. So throughout the game, I'm gonna be getting items called badges. And when I equip them with badge points, they give me either a special ability or they'll give me an upgrade in like HP or something like that. So each time I level up in the game with 100 star points, I get to pick either HP, FP, or BP. All right, so like I was saying, this fight is 100% scripted, but one interesting thing in this game is that there are things called action commands. And basically what an action command is whenever I use an attack, there's a certain timing where you can either do more damage or get a block or something like that. But for now, I don't have it. But one thing there is in this game that a Japanese player named Oxo has found is there's something that we call quick jumps, where basically as I'm walking up to my enemy to jump on them, for whatever reason, you have a few frames where you can either mash or just press an input once to speed up your jump. So I'm doing that right now, and that saves about like 10 frames per jump if you get it perfectly. And I'll show off right now how much slower it is if I don't do that. Just won't press anything, and you can see there's this longer animation. So throughout the course of the run, I'll be doing that. It's one of the smaller things that I do, and that saves like probably in the ballpark of like 8 seconds. So in Prologue, it's really easy because I don't have action commands yet. But when I do get action commands, I have to time them. Otherwise, I won't be able to get them. And if I time them wrong, I won't even be able to hit the action command. I'll just be locked out.
Got a $100 donation donated anonymously. Thank you all involved in AGDQ for a great week of speedruns and funs. Events like this makes me proud to be a gamer. Put this donation to save the Yoshis. Just kidding. Let's speedy spin a cure to cancer.
All right, so now Prologue is filled with cutscenes, so this is one of the many cutscenes. It's pretty much just like introducing the story. Basically, as you saw at the beginning of the game, the castle got taken away. So I have to, like, it's your typical Mario storyline. I have to go to the castle, beat Bowser, save Princess Peach. So these stars are going to help me out throughout the game. And later on, they're going to give me special abilities that are going to help me kill stuff a lot easier. So for now, it's just a lot of waiting around. And as you'll notice, all I'm doing for the text right now is I'm just holding down the B button. That's one thing that's really nice about this game because you're never gonna lose frames or anything like that to mashing text. It's always optimal, and in fact, it's actually slower if you press a button while you're holding down the B button. So yeah, that's one of the things that this game did really well. The text works out really nicely. With questions I could ask later on, it's pretty much as simple as, like, if I want to say no to a question, I'll just press the B button again. I don't have to actually scroll down and press A in it. I can just press the B button and it selects no immediately. So that's another thing that's really nice. All right, so now I'm finally awake. This guy's basically just telling me where I am. So the first thing I need to do is I need to get the hammer. It's required to beat the game, and it's required to get out of the village. So I need to talk to a few guys around the village, and then I'll be able to get the hammer and be on my way. So this guy right here, need to talk to him, and he tells me to go to the fence. So now another cutscene. Like I said, Prologue's filled with them. This pretty much tells me why I need the hammer. Like this Kami Koopa is going to throw down a block that's going to just pretty much break the gate, and I won't be able to get anywhere. So.
So I just got on, but I want to let you guys know about a couple of the prizes you can win during this game. You've got both a Paper Mario cast poster and Super Paper Link. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but shout outs to Croco Goat and Gary Storecamp for donating both of those prizes. The minimum donation is $10 to get into the bidding for either one of those prizes.
All right, so now I'm back over here, and as you can see, the balcony is just completely gone. So for whatever reason, it just breaks. And I have to follow this guy down here. And this brings me to like another part of the tutorial of Prologue, where it's going to teach me how to fight properly, I guess. So I got to talk to him, and then I'm going into what's called the Junior Troopa Playground. And that's where the hammer is located. So normally in an any % run, what I would do in this room is I would get a bunch of coins, which I need later for the Speedy Spin badge. But since the Kill Wacka donation incentive was met, I don't need to get any coins in here. I'm just going to get the hammer and immediately leave, and I'm going to use the Wacka bumps for coins later.
And this next fight is actually skippable, but it takes like what? How many frame perfect jumps?
It's like 20 or something. Yeah, that's something I'll be
Tassel,
something I'll be explaining later. There's this technique in this game called loading zone storage, where basically you need to be on the ground for 2 frames for a loading zone to trigger. So with frame perfect jumps, you can actually go inside of a loading zone, and then as long as you jump frame perfect and never touch the ground for more than 2 frames, you can just get further and further away from a loading zone. And I'm going to be abusing that later in the run. Although it's not going to be that crazy. There's a setup for a certain trick that I'm going to be using, but it'll show off loading zone storage. All right, so again, this fight is pretty much just scripted. I just have to jump 5 times. And he's dead. And this shows off star points now. So when I get 100 of them, I level up, and I get to choose either HP, FP, or BP, like I was saying before. All right, so now I want to go back to the village. So getting my first item right here. I'm going to be using items a lot throughout the game. Since this is any %, I'm going to be a very low level by the end of the game, so I'm going to be using items a lot because they're very strong, and I'm not going to have many other abilities that can do what items can for me. So, as you saw on that last screen too, there's just enemies all over the screen. If I run into one, get hit by one, whatever, it's going to start a battle, or what we call an encounter. So I want to avoid them as much as I can. There are a few later on that I need to get into to progress through the chapters or whatever, but for the most part, I just want to avoid every single enemy I can. Otherwise, it's just a waste of like 10 seconds for each encounter. So I'm going to have to get in the encounter and then run away. And this is my first badge right here, the power jump badge. And he wants to give me a tutorial, so I just say no to both. And this will show off how badge points work as soon as this cutscene ends. So pretty much right now, I start off with 3 badge points. Power jump costs 1. So I'm going to equip it, and I'm still going to have space for other stuff later on. But I'm going to need power jump for the next couple fights. So I'm just going to equip it immediately. And I'm finally out of the village. So now there's a couple screens here that are kind of difficult. These screens are very narrow, so it can be kind of hard to get around these Goombas right here, but usually it's pretty easy. There's another badge right here that I want to get called Close Call, which I'm going to be using a lot later in the run. But basically what the Close Call badge does is if I'm in danger, which is 5 or less HP, enemies have a chance to just completely miss their attack on me. It's about a 25% chance, but if it works, it's good because it saves me time, but if not, it's not a big deal. Alright, so this fight is pretty basic. 2 Goombas, one has 6 HP, the red one has 7 HP. So what I want to do here is get them both to 3 HP. And the reason for that is, with that Fire Flower I picked up, it does 3 damage to each enemy on the screen. So since both are at 3, I'm going to kill them both with this one attack, And normally you would get some text if you killed one by themselves. So I want to kill both at the same time, just to avoid that text. It saves a decent amount of time. All right, so I'm at 1 HP, 1 FP. So I'm gonna go to the screen right before this one, and fill up my stats using what's called a heart block, which is right here. And I'll just miss jumping at it like that, and now I have full stats again, going into the next fight. So now I have to do a fight with the Goomba King. And this fight is pretty unique because there's a gimmick in the fight where you can actually hit the environment and do extra damage to the enemies. I think it's the only fight in the whole game where you can do this, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Basically, you're going to notice when I enter the fight, there's a Band-Aid on the tree in the background. And one thing that probably not a lot of people know is that you can actually attack that Band-Aid, and when you do, it drops a Goom Nut down onto all 3 of the enemies. So that's going to clear out everything on the screen a lot faster. All right, so here we go. This guy has 10 HP, so it's a pretty easy fight. I have full FP, full health, so nothing can really go wrong here. But as you can see, that Band-Aid in the back, so I'm going to attack that right now. Goombario does 1 damage, so I want to attack with him. And it hits everything for 3, so those 2 are dead. And I'll be able to finish him off this turn. All right, so again, another easy fight. So now this guy goes back and he hides in his castle or whatever, and I need to find a switch to pretty much destroy his castle. So it's just over here in this bush. So I hit that, and then another cutscene. So if you have a couple donations or whatever.
Sure. In case you guys are just joining us for Paper Mario, want to remind you guys who we are. We are Speed Demos Archive and Speedruns Live, 2 of the greatest gaming communities in the world, I would say, coming together to put on Awesome Games Done Quick 2014. We're here to raise money for PCF, otherwise known as the Prevent Cancer Foundation, who is raising money to do exactly what they say they're doing, prevent cancer. So far, you guys have raised, actually, let me check that total one more time, $689,000, coming up very close to $700,000. Any chance we can hit that before the end of this run? We shall see. Want to read off a couple of y'all's donations. We got a $75 donation from, Jean Griesbach. Finally, Paper Mario time. I've been waiting for this. Good luck on the run, and I'm hoping for more Paper Mario runs and games for future marathons. Flavio Life. Also a $70 donation from The Nerd Wonder. Here's another $70 for Yoshi Fan's Perfect Run. Also a $10 donation from Tumo Sari. Another great marathon. Good job, guys. Thank you very much.
All right, so this cutscene, pretty much just giving more of the story. It introduces the Koopa Bros, which I'm actually not even going to be fighting throughout the entire game. But they're supposed to be the boss of Chapter 1, but as you'll see later on, I won't even need to fight them. I'm not going to spoil everything yet, but I'll be skipping a lot of bosses. All right, so there's a little bit of movement now again. It's all just basic stuff. What I'm doing now is I want to go to Shooting Star Summit, which is where the Star Spirits are, and they wanted me to meet them there. So I have to go through Toad Town first. Just a couple screens of basic movement, like nothing special here.
Got a $150 donation from Donald Swade. Luigi's been to all of Mario's parties, and it's good to know he'll stay at the party at the end. The brothers that play together stay together. I've watched several AGDQs with my brother, and he's donated hundreds in the past to your awesome cause. It's only fitting I match his donation. In the name of brotherly love, spare the Waka. Got $100 from Sir George. Here's $100 to a reprise of the Pie/Bluegrass Old Man River duet. If that's not an option, Pie and Bluegrass each pick where $50 goes. Got them both here on the couch for you.
Is that an option? I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, I was asking if you guys knew where you wanted to allocate your 50 each.
What are some of the file names for?
Yeah, let me
Chrono
check on
Trigger?
that real quick for you.
Character names for Chrono Trigger?
You wanting Wind Waker or Chrono Trigger?
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger. Yeah, just to give you guys a quick update on those file names since they're coming up in a few hours. Right now, Ayla would be right now named Barry at $1,555. Free in second place at $580. For Chrono, right now it's Meta at $3,292, followed by the Yeti at $2,486. For Frog, it's actually relatively close. Nami at $1,832. Frog, or Froge, at $1,535. For Luca, we've got W Mom at $1,045 and Neuro at $931. For Magus, we've got YSANG, Yang, Sang, I don't know, at $580. Janice at $135. For Marley, we've got another very close race, Nadia at $570, Rares at $500, and Robo at $1,366. He's got Ryan D. And for Bender, $720. And I'm assuming you can also name, I'm not seeing it here in the index, but you can actually also name the Epoch. The, oh, it's at the top of the list? Oh, all right. Because we, for some reason, forgot that was a thing. But yeah, right now that's, we've got $176 for the top choice there. So, again, it's anybody's game in quite a few of those bid wars.
What's for Epoch? No, I meant what are the names?
Oh, it's not loading for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so that item I just got is called the Lucky Star. That's what's going to give me action commands now. So there's another tutorial there which I had to say no to, and this is just kind of like the introductory fight where you learn how to use them. So you'll see I'm going to be doing a lot more damage now because I have to time my power jump like that. So this guy has 8 HP, but what I'm going to do is instead of power jumping again, I'm going to head bonk right here. So now he has 2 health left. And the reason I don't just power jump again is because I want more FP later on. So I'm just going to jump again, and now he's dead. So that's a little bit slower than doing 2 power jumps, but it's important because I need the FP for the next fight coming up. So anyway, we're pretty much at the end of Prologue, and this is going to be our first trick coming up. There are actually 2 ways you can get out of Prologue that aren't intended. One of them is called Merlin Skip, which Pi did at SGDQ. Basically, you use an NPC to clip out of bounds and fall into Merlin's house. The other one is called Black Toad Skip. It is the faster and more difficult way to get out of Prologue, so that's what I'm going to be attempting right here. And that's going to show off some out-of-bounds stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to get it, but it is a pretty precise trick. Basically, I'm just going to be trying to walk along like the seam of the world when I clip out of bounds, and I want to hit the loading zone for Chapter 1. So I'm going to use this shopkeeper to clip out of bounds, like that. And now what I want to do is get to the other side of this loading zone right here. And that should be fine. Okay, now I need to walk along this entire seam. If I fall here, it's not really a big deal. But I need to constantly adjust myself to try to walk along this seam. But as I was saying, it is pretty precise. I only have a few pixels to walk on. And if I was to walk too far upwards, I would clip back in bounds. And I would lose a lot of time. So I'm just trying to take it really safe. Normally I would be doing this a lot faster in actual attempts, but since it's a marathon, I don't want to risk it. And I clip back in bounds. That is bad. All right, I'm just gonna go do it again, I guess. Because it is still faster than doing Merlin Skip, but yeah, that was really bad. It was right at the end. Oh well.
My $50, let's put it towards Epoch being named TARDIS.
TARDIS?
Yep.
How would you spell that?
TARDIS, all capitals.
Is okay.
Time and relative dimensions in space. Because Doctor Who is awesome like that.
All right, trying this again now, but yeah, hopefully I will be able to get it this time. I'm getting closer. Okay, it should be one more fall and then I should be able to make it. Okay, I'm gonna try to land in the loading zone now. Might make it with this fall, might have to go one more. Yeah, one more. Okay, like that. So that was pretty slow, but not much I can do, I guess. I usually do like a different method for that trick where I actually reset my controller to get a perfect angle for that trick so I can walk along the seam perfectly.
Yeah, the trick's really finicky with how your controller input is lined up. You can't go at a straight upright angle with every controller, so he has to keep readjusting himself with jumping and then
what am I doing? I don't need coins. But yeah, it's just based on your control stick angle. So some people can actually do it just by walking along the whole seam, just holding upright. But unfortunately, I'm unlucky. My control stick is unable to do that, so I have to do all that adjusting.
TRDIS. Is that okay?
All right. TRDIS.
There it is.
Okay, so now I'm in Koopa Village, and this is pretty much the only way to get further in the chapter. This Koopa right here named Cooper.
Cooper named Cooper. Text game.
That's his name. But yeah, he got his shell taken away. So I have to get it back from these fuzzies. So I'm gonna have to play a little mini game coming up, which is actually pretty easy to fail if I'm not fully paying attention or something like that. I've actually lost runs to this because I just wasn't even looking at my TV. But yeah, basically there's 4 fuzzies, one of them has the shell, and I just need to pick the right tree at the end. So there's 3 phases, it's gonna get continually faster. If I was to, I guess, pick the wrong one, I can either get into an encounter or get like a coin drop or something like that. So the last one is the scariest. If he goes between 2 at the same time, back and forth, it looks kind of like a blur, so hopefully he doesn't do that, which he did.
Nice.
But I got it anyway, so it's fine. Now I gotta give his shell back. So Cooper is the second partner, and he has a lot better attacks than Goombario does, but his attacks still aren't really that strong. Some of the partners later on are going to be getting used a lot more than Cooper and Goombario will. So that right there is actually the end of Goombario. You're not going to see him for the rest of the run. He's pretty weak. So anyway, this is why I needed the 3 FP. I'm using a POW block here. This hits everything for 2, and these guys have 3 HP. So I'm just going to do a power shell right here, and that hits everything for 1, so they're all dead. Power shell costs 3 FP, so now, as you can see, I'm at 0. If I didn't hang on to it, I wouldn't have been able to kill them that fast. All right. So now that I have Cooper, I can pretty much just leave, and I'm going to go to the Koopa Bros Fortress. But like I was saying before, I'm not actually going to end up killing the boss. There's a reason I'm going to the fortress, though, which I'm going to explain in a little bit. But yeah, I won't be in the fortress for very long.
Got a $100 donation from Insensado. My third and last donation. I have watched so much of this year's AGDQ that my sleep schedule has never been worse off. This marathon definitely lived up to the massive hype. Shoutouts to one of my favorite speedrunners, I Ate Your Pie, as well as to all of the Paper Mario runners. Hope that bad shop isn't too terrible.
Hopefully. Yeah, that's one thing I'll have to explain in a little bit. I already mentioned the speedy spin badge, but I have to get it through the badge shop, which is it's RNG. So as I get closer, I'll explain that. But anyway, I'm at the fortress now. So another little cutscene. This guy's surprised that I'm here and whatnot. So this is the first, I guess, intentional encounter of the run. I need to fight this guy because he's carrying the key for the lock. So what I'm going to do is power jump this guy for 3. He has 4 HP, so now I'm going to power shell again. So the Koopa's going to die, but the bomb will not die. But as you can see, he lit up like that. So he just ends up killing himself by doing that. So I didn't actually have to do anything to kill him. So I level up FP here. I'm going to need a lot of it during this run. And I can keep going. So there's another trick coming up. We don't actually have a name for it, but I usually just call it stair skip, even though there's also a staircase skip in Chapter 7. But yeah, this will show you some more out-of-bounds stuff. It can be pretty crazy and a little bit confusing, but I'll try to explain it as I do it. But first, I'm going to grab this badge right here, which is Power Bounce. And you'll be seeing a lot of that badge later on in the run. All right, so this screen right here, this is where stair skip is. So normally what you have to do in this room is you have to fight this Koopa who drops a switch and then he lowers the stairs. But instead I can do this. I can fall down to the basement. Now what I want to do is hit the loading zone behind the top door. All right, now I'm on the top floor, just like that. So I went from the middle floor all the way to the basement and then up to the top floor, and that allowed me to skip a key and a bunch of other fights. So that trick right there saves probably like 2 or 3 minutes. And it's going to allow me to get immediately to Bombette, which is the next partner. So I have to fall for this trap right here. It's the only way you can continue. And this is going to put me into the jail where Bombette is. So after I meet her, it kind of teaches you how to use her ability. You'll notice there's a crack on the wall on the left side as soon as the camera zooms around. But yeah, that pretty much just shows you what to do with Bombette. She can blow up walls, and she's actually required to beat the game, which is the only reason I'm here, actually. Now that I have Bombette, I don't need to be in Chapter 1 anymore. The only reason I'm here is because I absolutely need her to beat the game. There's no other way to do it. So as soon as I'm done this next fight, I'm just going to leave Chapter 1, and we're going to go back to Toad Town. And that'll lead us into our next trick. And that's the one I was mentioning earlier. That's gonna involve loading zone storage, which is pretty confusing. I mean, most of you probably will have no idea what's going on as I do the trick, but I'll do my best to explain it. Anyway, I'm gonna use that fire flower I picked up just a little while ago, and this is gonna instantly kill both of the bombs. So the Koopa has 1 more health left, which I'm just gonna use Bombette's basic ability right here to kill him. And that's done. So now I just need to head back to Toad Town. Gotta go all the way back through Chapter 1.
Anatomyz, what would you like all of your donations to go towards?
Good question.
I know we're basically down to file names at this point.
Yeah. Can I decide after my run? Is that okay? Or
Yep, that'll be fine.
all right.
Oh. And I guess there's save the whole Waka situation.
Yeah, it's still kill, right? Like what's that? What I would like to do? I would like to kill them. I would like to kill Waka because it's faster. So yeah, that has to be cut off now anyway. My route would have been a little bit different. I would have had to gather coins if I was not killing Waka. So at this point, since I didn't gather any coins, he's gonna die. So you're all gonna have to say goodbye to Waka when I get there. All right, so now I'm back in Toad Town, and this is the first, I guess, major trick of the run. It's also one of the hardest. It's called log skip. It's going to abuse loading zone storage. So I'm going to do the same thing as black toad skip. I'm going to clip out of bounds right here. And then what I'm going to do is basically trigger a loading zone from underneath the world and land far enough away afterwards so that when I complete the trick, I will clear a barricade that's on the next screen that's usually there until the end of chapter 1. So right now what I'm trying to do is trigger the loading zone. It's pretty precise. I may not get it on my first few tries here. Okay, I think I have it triggered right now. So now what I need to do is land far enough away. Hopefully it's triggered. There's really no way to know. All right, I got it. So as you can see, this throws me underneath the logs on the next screen, and that basically skips chapter 1. All right, so right here I'm getting the first seed of the game. I'm going to need them later to get into chapter 6. There are 4 seeds throughout the game, and the only way to get to chapter 6 is by getting those seeds. All right, so now I'm going to chapter 2. This is where I'm going to get my whack-a-bumps for coins, and this is also where I'm going to meet Paracarry, which is probably the, I guess, most useful partner in most of the fights in the game. His main ability, Shell Shot, does a lot of damage, and I'm going to be using it quite a bit. On top of that, he's also going to help me with some stuff later on. Just like Bombette 2, he is required to beat the game. You need to fly over some stuff with him. So there's no actual way to skip him. So this is pretty much the only reason that I'm going to chapter 2.
Got a $50 donation from Salty Gamer 00. Take my money, Anat. Use this to bribe Huffy Puffy into giving you good RNG. Or put it towards whatever you want.
Hopefully I get the good RNG. I would rather have that. What he's talking about is a fight in Chapter 6 that's really RNG based. I can lose a ton of time on that fight, so hopefully I'll get some luck during that fight. But anyway, this is where I meet Paracarry. So he's sad and stuff because he needs his letters. So what I need to do is go through the desert and get 3 letters that he lost in here. At the same time, I'm also going to be collecting whack-a-bumps, which I'm going to get the first of right now. So this poor guy can take 8 hits. I'm going to get all 8 whack-a-bumps. I need 3 to actually use later on, and I'm going to use the other 5 for coins. Conveniently, they sell for a lot, so it's definitely the best way to get coins early on in the game. So it's a letter right here. I have to reach with Cooper. That's the first letter. So now I got to keep going. And eventually I'm going to have to backtrack over here too, because there's another seed, but the only way to reach it is with Paracarry. So second letter right here, just going back up. Going to backtrack again. And I'm going to go over into the last area now, where there's one more letter that I need to get. Alright, gotta go down the slide right here. Only way to get over here. Actually, that's wrong. There's actually a trick you can do to skip that slide completely, but it actually is slower than going down the slide. So, no point in really doing that. I might lose time doing the trick. So one more slide right here. This one is required. And the last letter is right here. So I'm just going to reach it with Cooper and drop down. That's going to save a little bit of time. Not much, but saving frames. All right. Anyway, so now I have all 3 letters, so I'm going to go back to Paracarry. And I'm going to grab another whack-a-bump on the way there. So this will be my second one. Oh, one thing I didn't mention, I guess, you'll notice I'm grabbing items with my hammer. The reason for that is obviously you can grab them from further away. And on top of that, if you're spinning and you spin into an item, you're going to get a long animation. It wastes about a second. So pretty much every item throughout the game, I'm going to make sure that I'm not spinning, otherwise it's going to just lose me time. All right, so now I give him all the letters, and he's going to join me and stuff. So now, like I was saying, I'm going to backtrack back into the desert, and I'm going to get the flower seed again for Chapter 6, as well as my other whack-a-bumps. So I'm going to get my third one right now, and I'm going to need to get 5 later. So I'm going to have to keep going in and out of the screen to get 5 more whackos.
4 whack.
I've got a $50 donation from Joseph Lapani. Here's $50 towards getting a Kid Chameleon run from Pi next year. $20 donation from Clig. Hey guys, Clig here. Good to see Paper Mario at AGDQ. Sorry I couldn't be there. It's awesome that so much money has been donated. Keep it up. Hashtag break the game.
Oh, just wait. You'll see the game broken very soon. Alright, so that was the second flower seed I just got. And just like Chapter 1, that's the only thing I need here. So I'm just going to leave Chapter 2 now. Before I do that, I'm going to get the rest of my whack-a-bumps, and then the biggest sequence break in the game is coming up shortly after that. So this is whack-a number 4 right here. And I just need to keep resetting the screen and get 4 more. So coming up as soon as I go back, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, there's a badge called Speedy Spin. And what that's going to let me do is it's going to make the spin animation a lot faster, and it's going to go longer as well. So it speeds up the run by quite a bit. Because as you can see now, these spins are pretty short. They're not very fast, and I have to jump quite a bit. Pretty much with movement in this game, you want to minimize jumping as much as possible. So Speedy Spin is going to help with that.
Got a $20 donation from Vic and Vivian. This year's AGDQ has been a blast, and the work everyone involved has put into this has been incredible. Paper Mario has been an inspiring game to us, and seeing it be played to aid in cancer prevention donations is even better. A close friend of ours has had cancer, and while has been treated and recovered, it was still a terrifying experience nonetheless. Here's to defeating cancer and saving Waka. Donation money also. Sorry.
Rip.
Not happening.
Donation money also goes towards the Paper Mario cast poster prize drawing. I just want to say real quick, any of you out there, you don't have to specifically put your donations towards a prize. As long as you meet the minimum requirement with your donation, no matter what if you want to put it towards a donation incentive or whatever, you will be entered in the drawing, whether you want it or not. So. And again, the 2 prizes for this run is the Paper Mario cast poster donated by Croco Goat and the Super Paper Link donated by Gary Storkamp. And you guys can probably see on the ticker going across the top of the screen. If you go to speeddemorsarchive.com, you can see pictures of all these wonderful prizes. And the minimum donation to get into that is $10.
Okay, so right here coming up now is the badge shop. This is where I'm going to get Speedy Spin. So there are 3 badges that pop up on the screen, and there are 4 badges total. So there's a 75% chance that I'll get it. And I got it in the middle there. All right. And I forgot I don't have coins yet, so different route. Anyway, the badge shop will reset if I go 2 screens away. So I'm only going 1 screen away right here, just to sell my whack-a-bumps and get coins that I'm going to need later. So if I was to go to another screen, I might accidentally reset it, and that would possibly get rid of the Speedy Spin badge, so I want to obviously not do that. So I'm going to sell 5 of these right now. With all these coins, I'm going to buy the Speedy Spin badge, and I'm also going to buy some stuff in the sewers. Yeah, there's a life shroom and there's a repel gel that I'm going to get in the sewers, and both of them are going to be very useful throughout the run. Like I was saying before, items are probably the most important thing that I can get, because obviously I'm going to be at a very low level and I won't be able to kill stuff as easily. So I'm going to equip it right now along with Power Bounce. And now the hardest trick of the game is coming up. It's called Blue House Skip. It is frame perfect and nearly pixel perfect, so hopefully I can get it. Dang. Wow. All right, finally got it. All right, so I'm confirmed worse than Pi. Pi got that trick first try last SGDQ, so. Oh, I almost got it first try too, but the chokes. Anyway, so there's a pipe inside that blue house, and normally you're not supposed to be able to reach that until the end of chapter 5. So by doing that, I essentially just skipped the entirety of chapters 2, 3, and 4. There's a fight right here. This is where you're going to be starting to see a lot of power bouncing. A perfect fight here would be 23 bounces on the first 2 turns. All right, I got 9. So there are also things called power bounce caps, where the game will just stop you at certain points, and even if you hit the action command perfectly, you won't be able to continue. So what that was right there is a cap. There's a very distinct animation to tell what it is. All right, I got capped again. So I'm just gonna use his normal attack again right here, and he should be dead next turn. But basically, if you want to know if I'm getting capped or just missing, the animation is basically Mario will either drop straight to the ground or he'll jump very far back. If he jumps far back, that means I got capped. And if he drops straight to the ground like that, that means I missed it. So you might have noticed on the other 2, he jumped really far back, which means the game just wouldn't let me do any more action commands. All right. So now I'm in chapter 5. So Blue House Skip saves probably like 50 minutes in this category, actually. So it's a pretty big trick. The other category, all cards, you would still use it, but it only saves a few minutes because the only thing it would really do is let you get to chapter 5 sooner, other than riding a whale to get there. So right now I get to meet Colorado, and he's saying he wants to go on the volcano and stuff. And he's actually going to be getting in there with me. I'm going to be glitching inside there, and apparently he's going to be doing it too. He's also going to be helping me out inside there, which you'll see in a little bit. Anyway, these guys are all panicked because the Yoshi kids are missing. So I'm going to get the next partner, who is Sushi. And this is another partner that's actually skippable, but required to beat the game. So I need to get Sushi, otherwise I wouldn't be able to complete the game.
I've got a $20 donation from Zykrul. Hey AGDQ, love all the amazing, what seem like nigh impossible tricks you can successfully pull off. The Metroid race and punch-out blindfolds kept me on the edge of my seat. A classmate of mine lost his battle to melanoma a few years back at the age of 25. It's always tough to see someone go, especially from this vile disease, and so young. Thank you everyone, including the behind-the-scene crew who keeps things running smoothly and their sanity intact for taking your time to support and spread the word of an amazing cause and making this event bigger and better every year. Congrats on reaching the 500K goal, and let's go for 800K.
All right, so during that, I just did a pretty crazy trick called Yoshi Skip or Raft Skip. It's called 2 things. It was actually discovered by Flair. Pretty much what that allowed me to do is clip past a tree, which is a Japanese-only trick using paracarry. It was actually fixed on the English version, so I guess they knew about it. But yeah, that allowed me to just pretty much get out of bounds again, go around a loading zone, similar to Black Toad Skip, and then fall into the volcano. So right here, there's another small thing called First Cycle, where if I'm fast enough, I'll be able to land on the platform coming up. All right, and I got it. So missing that really isn't a huge deal. It wastes like 15 seconds because you got to wait for the platform to come all the way back. So that's good that I got that. So now what I'm going to do is I got to go get the Ultra Hammer, which is also required to beat the game. As you can see, there's a block on the right side there. You might have been able to see it, but yeah, I need that to get any further in the volcano. So there's another trick coming up right here that we just call Lava Skip. It's another very small time saver. but it skips doing a block puzzle right here. And I failed it. All right, so I can try again, but this trick is also kind of precise, so. I got it there. Okay, so something that probably a lot of people don't know is that you actually don't need to push 2 blocks here. You can actually push 1. As long as you're standing close to the edge, you can make that gap with parry-carry. So that's how I did there. I only pushed 1 and then just parry-carried across, and now I have the Ultra Hammer. So I'm gonna go back to where that Ultra Block was before and progress further into the volcano where you're gonna see a few more tricks coming up.
Got a $10 donation from DeadMind13. It's been 6 years today since I lost my father. Hopefully this small amount helps someone else to not have to go through the same.
Okay, so now that I'm through, Colorado's here too. Like, at the beginning of the volcano, I don't really know how he got in. I guess he did Yoshi skip as well, but yeah, he's here. So he's gonna help me with some stuff later, as I was mentioning. But first I'm gonna drop down right here and I'm gonna hit my first upgrade block. What this does is give my partners more damage and an extra ability. So I'm gonna upgrade Bombette because I'm gonna need her ability, which is called Power Bomb in Chapter 6. What it does is it hits multiple enemies on the ground at once, and it does quite a bit of damage, so it's very useful coming up later in the game. But unfortunately, the fastest upgrade block I can get to is by dropping down there. So now I have to backtrack and go through here, and now I'm just gonna go to the end of the volcano. I'm gonna switch to parry-carry right now because I'm gonna need him right away for another trick coming up. So this room's pretty basic as well. I have to wait for a platform at the end. There's not much going on, but I would like to not get in an encounter with these lava bubbles, and I didn't. Okay. So I'm just gonna stand right at the end and wait for the platform. Nothing I can really do here. There's no first cycle type trick here either. It's just impossible to make it there. So now I'm on here, I just gotta wait to go across again. And then the next room is another trick, which actually is it's a bit bigger than it looks. Normally you have to do in this room is there's a block at the end, which you have to push all the way across the room. But what I can do here is a trick called Flare-a-Carry, which is also named after Flare. And Para-Carry right into this corner here. And I just trigger the loading zone and go straight through. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna switch to Bombette during this little cutscene, save frames, and I'm gonna follow Colorado into the next room, and now he's gonna help me with a trick. So I'm getting the Super Shroom right now. I'm gonna need this later in Chapter 6, and now I'm gonna do what's called a Lava Piranha skip by using Colorado to clip out of bounds like that and land in the loading zone underneath the boss. So by doing that, I just completely skip the boss of Chapter 5. That trick probably saves like 5 or 6 minutes. And now I'm at the end of the chapter. So Chapter 5 is completely broken. Like all I really do is get the Ultra Hammer, upgrade Bombette, and then I'm out of there. Like it's just filled with tricks. There's a lot of stuff going on. So an interesting thing with this game is the game is pretty much based off of triggers. So if you manage to get further in the game and you hit one of those certain triggers, the game will think you're at that point. So that's how I was able to get to Chapter 5 early and stuff, and also like get inside the volcano and everything's there. So now that I beat this chapter, normally throughout the game, as you beat the chapters, you get abilities called Star Power, and pretty much each time you beat a chapter, you get 1 extra star power and you get a new ability from the Star Spirits. But since I skipped the first 4 chapters, I didn't get them yet. But now that I beat Chapter 5, after this chapter, I'm actually going to have every single star power ability, as well as all the star power I need. So that's a cool way of, I guess, manipulating the triggers to my advantage. So there's a small Peach cutscene right here. It's one of the few that's in this category, but I have to go do a quiz right away. It's the only way to get through this, and it's going to give me the parasol for the next Peach cutscene, which is also required. So the quiz is right here, and throughout this whole quiz, I don't even need to answer anything correctly. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to mash through the entire quiz and get some questions wrong, get some of them right. And actually on the 10th question, I'm going to answer the wrong answer on purpose, which is number 2. The reason for that is if I was just to mash through the whole quiz, I would actually win the prize. And winning the prize is slower because you have to get an extra item. So I'm going to purposely get the last question wrong. And that is going to skip getting the item. So yeah, first 9 questions I'm just mashing through. Last question is going to be number 2. So if you have any donations or whatever, that was a pretty good time.
I've got $10 from George. May RN Jesus be with you, Anatomyz. Got $50 from Randa. Hi, Randa here. I want to give a quick shout out to my friend Johnson, who introduced this awesome community to me. Good luck to Anatomyz and the final runners. $20 from Big Yan. Never really watched speedrunning, but stumbled across this and it's so entertaining. Well done to everyone involved. Got a $30 donation from Furret Turret. I've seen the game played dozens of times, but I am still giddy for this Paper Mario run. I've got a $100 donation from Mr. X. Thanks for the awesome speedruns, guys. A lot of my friends here at Blizzard are huge fans. Keep up the good work.
Alright, so now this cutscene is pretty much done. I purposely lost the quiz so I didn't get the item, but I did get the parasol, which you get no matter what. So that is going to be useful later on, like I was saying. And as soon as this ends, I'm going to be heading to Chapter 6. But the thing is, right now I only have 2 of the flower seeds that are required. One of them you get after Chapter 5, and the other one is in Chapter 3. So I'm going to have to make a quick detour to Chapter 3 in order to get that last seed. And that'll let me get to Chapter 6. But before I do that, I'm gonna go back through the blue house again, and I'm also gonna buy some items from the guy that's inside the house, as well as unlock the door. So I'm gonna need to go through the house a few times throughout the run, so I'm just gonna unlock it now. All right, so this cutscene's finally done. So I have to go over and I have to find the treasure that dropped after the volcano erupted, which is actually on the same screen as Sushi. So when I get that item, I'm going to give it to Colorado, who is just sitting right there, as you saw on the bottom of the screen. And he's going to give me the 3rd flower seed. And then after that, I'm just going to get one more item, and then I'm just going to leave Chapter 5 through the pipe that I opened up earlier.
And do you skip the jam and jelly behind the tree? Okay.
Yeah, it's another small route change. There's an item behind the tree on the first screen outside of the volcano. But with this route, it's more marathon safe, so I'm not going to be getting it yet. Otherwise, I'm going to have item problems later on. So I got the flower seed right there. I'm going to switch to sushi because I'm going to need sushi. Actually, no, I'm not because I'm going through the blue house. What am I doing? And now I'm going to go get a repel gel. So this is the first repel gel I'm getting. This is going to be very useful on Final Bowser. I'm going to be abusing these things as much as I can because they make me invincible for 2 turns. So it's a little bit slow. It's kind of spinning around with that fuzzy, but I got it now. And now I'm just going to head back through the pipe, back through the blue house, and back to Toad Town and into Chapter 3. All right. Okay, going back in here, and back the way I came. Normally you would actually swim across there, but since I have to buy items, I have to go back through the blue house. And that's only with my marathon route, so it's a little bit different, and as you can probably tell, I'm a little bit off on the marathon strats, but everything's fine up until this point. So this guy right here, with all the coins I got earlier, I need to buy 4 items from him. I got a life shroom right there, which is very useful, a useless badge, a star piece, and another repel gel. So now that I have those, I'm going to exit back through the blue house, and I can unlock it right now. So that way, there's a clip you can do later on that's easier, but I'm not going to need to do that now that the blue house is unlocked. So now I'm going to Chapter 3, spinning in place. And conveniently, the seed is very close to the beginning of this forest. It's only like 4 screens in. So it's a little bit of a maze to get there, but I haven't memorized where it is. It's not too hard to remember it. But the only thing that's kind of scary is this fuzzy right here. It's another narrow screen, so I gotta go around that guy, take my time. And one more screen away, that's gonna be the last seed, and then I can enter Chapter 6. All right, just over here. Okay, so now that I have this, I'm gonna head back to Toten. I'm gonna go to the screen where I did Log Skip and Black Toad Skip. And the entrance to Chapter 6 is there. So I need to give all 4 seeds to the flower girl there, and it takes about a minute or so. So if you have more donations you need to get through,
Sure.
now's a good time again.
Yeah, I've got a $10 donation from Daniel James. It's 10 years to the day that my mom got the all clear after winning the battle with cancer. Yeah. I'm donating so somebody else can have that same feeling of joy and clean bill of health. Please give this $10 donation to Blue Glasses Choice. A huge thank you to all the behind-the-scenes team for flawless coverage all week, and to each and every runner for a wonderful community spirit and for bringing video gamers around the world together. AGDQ really is a blueprint for social media use on the internet.
Okay, so now that this is finally open, I'm going to go into Chapter 6. And unfortunately, this is the only chapter that we haven't really completely destroyed yet. The way this chapter works is based off a lot of triggers, so I have to do most of the stuff in order. Because if I was to skip things, I wouldn't be able to actually complete the chapter. So a lot of this is pretty much just going to be doing like basically a fast Let's Play. I just have to go through all the stuff here and help everyone out. So one of the more boring chapters, but yeah, we'll get through it. So anyway, first screen I need to go to is over here, and you'll notice I switched to Bombette already because I'm going to need her in the fights coming up. I also grabbed an item right there called a Stinky Herb, which restores 5 FP. I'm going to need that coming up right away too. So I need to talk to this flower, and she's mad because these moles are ruining her garden or whatever, so I need to kill all these moles. And I'm going to kill them in a specific order so that I level up near the end, and that's going to restore all my stats, including my star power. So I'm going to kill this one first. There's one mole right here. And they have 12 HP, so my hammer does 6, and Bombette's first ability also does 6, so he's going to die with this. Alright, so the next fight coming up, it's a little bit different because there are multiple of them. So since I got the star power abilities from beating Chapter 5, I now can use all the abilities that I should have got earlier. So I'm going to use what's called Starstorm. And this is a very strong ability. You're going to be seeing this a few times as well. It hits everything on the screen for 7 damage. So this and Bombette's new ability, like the upgraded ability, it's going to kill everything on the screen in one turn. Alright, but now that I'm down to 1 FP, the Power Bomb ability costs 6 FP. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat that Stinky Herb that I just got. That's going to give me 5, and that's going to put me back up to 6. So since I'm at a very low level, I get a lot of experience for these fights. I'm at 67 star points right now. Normally, if you're doing a casual playthrough, you might get like somewhere between 10 or 20 star points for doing this fight right here. But since I'm such a low level, I'm going to get around 40. So I'm going to level up off this fight. And by leveling, that's going to restore all my stats. It's going to restore my FP and my star power. So I used up pretty much everything I had for that fight. And now I level and get everything back. So I'm going to level FP again right here. So I'm going to need more of it coming up. And I'm going to do the last fight right here. So this fight, I could do the same thing. I could use Starstorm and Power Bomb again. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hammer instead. The reason for that is that there's only 2 enemies during this fight. And there are a few fights coming up later on where I also need to use Starstorm. And there are more enemies on those fights. So this fight is unfortunately a little bit slower, but it's necessary to make the other ones faster. So this guy's dead, and now all the moles are cleared. Now I need to talk to this flower again, and this is going to give me the first, I guess, major item of this chapter that I need to complete it, and that's a bean. Alright. I also need to get a red berry right here, because the way these gates work in this chapter, you need to give one of the flowers or whatever a specific colored berry, depending on what color they are. So I grab that red berry there, and now I'm going to go to the gate that has the red flower. So if I give him the berry, he's going to open the gate. This screen right here is actually one of the hardest screens in the game to dodge enemies. There's a bee on this screen, where if he first strikes you, he actually does 6 damage, which is pretty bad. So Fortunately, I have some strats here that allow me to make these guys stop noticing me by spinning far enough away. And I go underneath the bee there and get out safely. I need to go through that screen a few more times, so hopefully I'll get the same result each time I go through it. So now I have the yellow berry, and I'm giving it to this guy right here. And I'm going to need paracarry coming up. So I'm going to switch right now. And I can jump across these first few gaps right here. But I need to fly across the last two. So now I'm going to meet the next flower right away. Now I'm going to start like a bunch of fetch quests, basically. This flower is going to be upset because she's in a pond and there's no water. So I need to get what's called the water stone in order to get the water back here. But there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Basically, the person who has the water stone thinks it's pretty, doesn't want to get rid of it, so on. So I need to find something to replace it. But first I need to go and find the water stone first. So basically right there, I said I would go find it. So now I'm backtracking. I'm going to get a blueberry right now, which I need coming up again. I'm going to fly all the way back to the main screen. And going to the left side now, where there's going to be a blue flower at the gate. So I give this flower another berry, and it opens up this one. So now there's only 2 screens left that I haven't been to, but I'm going to go to them later in the chapter. So this fight coming up is what we call the maze fight. Basically, there are 2 Spinies and 2 Lakitus here. I'm going to use Starstorm, but unfortunately, since the Lakitus are in the air, Bombette's power bomb ability does not hit them. So what I'm going to do is just shell shot one of them, and the fight will change slightly depending on what they do. The Lakitu that's left will either spawn a Spiny, throw it down on the ground, or he will attack me directly. Spawning a Spiny is slightly slower, but fortunately, I got a Thunderbolt in Chapter 1, which is going to allow me to kill it really fast without using any extra FP or anything. So he's throwing down a Spiny, so I'm going to use that Thunderbolt I got, get rid of it, on the Spiny, and then I'm going to shell shot the last Lakitu, and that's the fight. As you can see here again, I'm getting a ton of experience for every fight I do now, just because I'm such a low level. Alright. So now I have to go through this small little maze right here, and at the end I'm going to find the water stone and another flower who wants something pretty to replace it. So if you have more donations, again, it's another slow point right here. So
Cool. We've got a $20 donation from Sir Program. Been watching all week whenever possible. Love what you guys do. Hats off to all the runners. Got a $10 donation from George Orndorff. Thanks for everything you all do. Love to all runners, staff, and anyone else involved. Got a $25 donation from Charles O'Keefe. In memory of Darren Hutz. You speedrunners and announcers are doing a great job. Congratulations on a raging success. See you next year.
all right, so I was a little bit scared talking to that flower because my game has actually crashed talking to that flower before. You might have noticed the screen froze for a second, so I was a little bit scared that that might have happened, but I got lucky, I guess. It's only happened once before, but that would have, I guess, been marathon luck if it did happen again. So anyway, this flower right here, she's mad because the other flower won't give the water stone back. So she gives me another pretty flower, and I can take that back, and now I can get the water stone. On top of that, I also got the soil, which I'm going to use later to plant the bean. So the only thing left I need now is the water, which I'm going to get when I give the water stone to the last flower. So again, more backtracking. I have to go all the way back through this maze and then all the way back to the water section. And then after that, I'm going to meet, I guess, our next partner, who's Lackluster. And he's a very interesting partner because he can help with a lot of tricks, actually, which you're going to be seeing a lot of coming up in chapters 7 and 8. All right, so now I have the water stone. Got to head all the way back. Going to take a little bit to get there again, so not much to talk about. So if you have more donations you want to get through, go for it.
I've got a $50 donation from William Dowd. My mother is now a little more than 10 years cancer-free due to early detection. Thanks for doing this, guys. Donation goes to Reader's Choice. And I just want to once again remind you guys who we are. We're a little over an hour into Paper Mario, and we are Speed Demos Archive and Speedruns Live, coming together to put on Awesome Games Done Quick 2014, where we are beating relatively quickly, at least, some of your favorite and least favorite video games of all time. And right now we got Anatomyz running through Paper Mario, and we are raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. You guys have raised, well, how much have you raised? You guys have raised $692,109. I want to thank you all for that. We're coming up closer and closer on our $750,000 goal. And I say let's just blow right past that, because at $800,000, Bonesaw will be leading us in the To Earn dance.
Okay, so now this cutscene is finally over. I finally got the water, which I need to complete the chapter as well. So what I'm going to do here is get a bubble berry, which is going to let me get to the next section of this chapter. There's a unique plant coming up where if you give them a bubble berry, you can pretty much jump inside the bubble and fly all the way to the end of the screen over some spikes that you normally can't get across, until I get my next partner anyway. So I'm going to go there now, but before I do, I'm going to save here just in case, because this screen can be kind of scary, and so can the next boss fight. Basically at the end of the screen there's a bee that just sits there waiting. If he first strikes me, that's 6 damage instantly, and if I fail to run away or something, that's basically I'm dead and I'm going to use a life sherm, so I don't want that to happen, so that's why I saved right there, just in case. It's pretty rare that he will actually first strike you, but it can happen, so just being safe. So this thing pushes me across, and hopefully this bee does not notice me. Alright, I'm good. So I'm going to grab an item right here called a shooting star, which I'm not going to be using until Final Bowser actually, but basically what it does is it does 6 damage to everything on the screen. And I'm going to be using a lot of those as well. So there's a rock inside here that I need to hit, so I'm going to drop one inside there and go up here. And I need to switch my badges around and heal up right before this next fight, so I'm going to do that right now. Also pull up Paracarry and heal up. So the next fight is a little bit scary because the boss does 4 damage normally, which is 3 damage blocked. So I'm at 10 HP, so if I block all 3 attacks, I will live with 1 HP. If not, basically I'm just going to die and use a life sherm, which isn't the end of the world, but I mean, this would be a very bad boss to use a life sherm on. So hopefully I'm able to get all the blocks here. And other than that, this is a pretty simple fight. I'm just going to be using power jump and shell shot repeatedly until he's dead. Alright, I got the first one. It's good. More of the same. Got the second one, and one more and I'll be able to live here. That would be very nice. Okay, good. So now I'm going to Waka again. This is going to refill everything because I just used all my FP and I'm at 1 HP, so just going to use that now. And blocks from here on out don't really matter. I'm going to block anyway, just because. But yeah, should be 2 more turns and this guy will be dead. And last turn right here. Alright, and this guy's dead. So now this guy right here, named Lackluster, he's going to join my party now. And he's going to be very useful later on, like I was saying. So I just got to talk to him and his girlfriend or whatever right here real quick. and then he's going to join my party. And then from here, normally what you would do is you would just go to the next section, the only section I haven't been to, which is the top right one, and you would just use Lackluster and continue from there. But there's a block puzzle on that screen. And since I haven't been to Chapter 3 yet, I don't have any super boots or anything, so I actually can't solve the block puzzle. So right here, I'm going to eat this super serum right now that I grabbed in Chapter 5. I want to be at full HP for the next fight, preferably. And what I actually have to do, since I don't have the boots, is I have to go into the sewers, and I'm going to go get the Ultra Boots, which you're, I guess, not supposed to get until after Chapter 6, but there's nothing stopping you from getting them now. So I'm just going to go there and do that, and that'll allow me to solve the block puzzle coming up. So just a quick detour, but there's nothing I can really do. There's no way to skip the block puzzle. And the Ultra Boots are going to be required anyway, so. So I unlocked the blue house earlier, so I got to go back in here. And this section of the game is kind of hard because there's a lot of enemies in the sewers right here. Pretty easy to get into an encounter. I have to go there and I have to go all the way back through like half a dozen enemies. So hopefully I won't get hit by anything here, but it's a little bit scary. The screen's relatively easy. And now that I have Lackluster, I can go across these spikes and into this next pipe. Alright. That screen is probably the scariest one. I have to go back through it still, but that was good. Now I break this, and these are the Ultra Boots right here. Which, now that I have the Ultra Boots, I can do a stomp attack, which I didn't need to do right there, it's saving frames. But I'll use it on this screen right here, and you can see what it does. I'm going to drag this Koopa away right here, because I want a life shroom that's in the middle of the room. Right there. So it allows me to get more height on my jump, which I'm going to be using for a trick later on, actually. So back through this screen, and there's a maple right here that I also want, a maple syrup. That refills 10 FP. I'm going to be using that in Chapter 7 later. And this is the last screen I have to get back through. Alright, so I made it through everything. That was good. And now I also want the shooting star right here for later on. So to get to Chapter 7, I need to hit these blocks. I'm just going to do that right now. Even though I can't get there yet, there's actually no way to get through that blue door up there. Other than completing the chapter and talking to Merlon. So normally in a run, this is where I would unlock the blue house, but since I had to buy extra items, it's already unlocked. So I just go straight through it, and I'm heading back into Chapter 6. So now that I have the Ultra Boots, I'm going to go to that block puzzle, and I'm going to be able to complete it. And after that, it's going to lead us into the last fight of the chapter, other than the boss. And during that fight, I'm going to level up again, which is very convenient because it's right before the boss, and it's going to refill all my stats, so I don't need to do anything extra.
I've got a $50 donation from Jorichi. I've lost my uncle and aunt to cancer, and I love watching speedruns. What does that create? That's right, a donation that should have been made sooner. Loving the Paper Mario run. Keep it up and good luck. Thank you very much. And I've also got a $50 donation from the Gamer Couple. Hey, we haven't lost anybody to cancer, but we'd like to keep it that way. Keep up all the great work. You guys are amazing.
All right, so I grabbed what's called a Thunder Rage on the screen right before this. I'm going to use it on this fight. It does 5 damage to everything. And unfortunately, with all these enemies on the screen, there's no way I can kill them in one turn, so I'm just going to do nothing with Lackluster. These blocks here don't matter either. I'm just going to block them anyway. But these guys can only do a total of 9 damage if everything is unblocked. So I have 10 HP, so I'd live no matter what. So in this next turn now, I'm just going to use Starstorm again. And this is why I needed to not Starstorm on that mole fight earlier. If I would have used it, I wouldn't have had enough star power to use it right here. So that's going to kill all these guys, and with this level up, I'm going to level up BP. Because I'm going to get a badge coming up right away called Super Jump Charge, which is going to be abused on pretty much every fight from here on out, other than Final Bowser. So now I have to break the machine right here, and this is pretty much the last thing in the chapter other than the boss. Alright, so now I have all three things I need to get to the top of the chapter. Now the sun is going to be happy right here. I wouldn't be able to plant the seed if the sun wasn't in the sky, so that's why I needed to destroy that machine. Because the machine actually created clouds, so the sun couldn't go in the sky, and it was just sitting on that platform, unable to do anything. So now everyone's all happy and stuff. And yeah, now I'm heading back to the middle screen for the last time, and I'm going to go into, I guess, the scariest boss of this category, called Huff and Puff. Overall, he's not a very difficult boss, but what he does have is a bunch of RNG. I mentioned power bounce caps earlier, and power bounce caps have a huge role on this fight because I need a certain number of bounces to kill Huff in one cycle, and if I don't get them, I'm going to die extra times, and I'm going to waste a lot of time. So it's not really under my control. I'll do what I can, but caps on this fight range between, I think, 3 and 8. 3 being extremely unlucky, 4 and 5 are probably most common, and a 6, which would be a perfect fight, is not as uncommon as a 3, but they're pretty uncommon. So I'm hoping for at least a 5. That would be good. This is also going to demonstrate the badge I got earlier in the run called Close Call. What I'm going to do is, since I already have it equipped, I'm going to purposely get into danger on this fight by not blocking attacks. And with that, hopefully Huff will miss at least one of his attacks. If he misses one, that's going to save me from dying early on in the fight. But if it doesn't work, that's fine. I'm going to lose a life shroom. Almost guaranteed on this fight anyway, but there's potential that I could lose 2 life shrooms on this fight, which would be bad. I do have 3, but yeah, if I get unlucky, not all that I can do about it. So hopefully with any luck, I'll make it out of this fight with at least 2 life shrooms. I'd be fine with losing 1. So super jump charge is hidden up on this cloud over here. Probably not a lot of people found out about this either. It's kind of out of the way. You wouldn't really think to go up here, I guess. So yeah, basically when I get this badge, I get an ability that increases my jump attack by 3 each time I use it, and it stacks. So I'm going to be pretty much spamming this ability, and then I'm going to be putting it all into 1 power bounce. And with that, I'm going to be able to kill pretty much every single boss in 1 turn when I actually do finally power bounce. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the first 3 turns. I'm just going to be charging up, I'm going to be letting him attack me, and doing nothing with my partner. The reason for that is because if I attack this guy, he spawns these little babies, which are going to do extra damage to me, so I don't want to do any damage with my partner. I'm going to purposely not block this attack. Now I'm in danger. So from here, I'm hoping that Close Call works on at least one of these attacks coming up, and that'll save a life shroom. So first is the wind attack. Hopefully this misses, and it didn't miss, so this is fine. I pretty much just have to make sure I don't die. There's no way I can prevent myself from dying if both attacks hit, so I'm just going to mash to make sure I don't die, and charge 1 more time. Hopefully this misses now, which it did. Perfect. Okay, so now I need at least a 4 bounce right here to be able to win this fight. Alright, I got a 5, that's pretty good. So that's, I guess, like the second best case scenario. I'm going to be able to kill him on the next turn, I believe. But as you can see, now that I hit him, he has these babies out. So I'm just going to let them kill me. There's actually no way I can mash them off, but yeah, they're going to kill me, and Huff is actually going to do nothing on this turn because of that. Past the 4th turn, he has this ability where he charges up and does a lot of extra damage, but he doesn't do that if you actually die on that turn. So dying to those babies is really convenient because he's not going to charge up. So now I'm going to use Star Storm right here, and I have an extra 10 damage for this turn, which should kill him. I'm not 100% on the math, but I'm pretty sure this kills. If not, I'm just going to have to mash the babies off, and he will be dead next turn. But looks like he is dead from this Star Storm, so that was a pretty good fight. That was I guess the best I could have hoped for a marathon run. If I was doing actual attempts, I would have lost probably 30 or 40 seconds right there, compared to a 6 or a 7 bounce, which is, I guess, the most optimal. 6 is pretty good, but 7 is perfect. It's about 3 seconds faster than a 6. So now that that's done, I'm done chapter 6, and I'm heading on to chapter 7 next. But first I have to do another Peach cutscene, where basically I'm going to be using the parasol I got in chapter 5, and pretending to be the guards around the castle in order to get all the way to the end of the castle and get, I guess, extra information for Mario. So, not much going on, so if you want to do some donations again, it's a good time.
Sure. I've got a $10 donation from Christina Cormier. I'm loving this Paper Mario run. Hoping to get that Paper Mario cast poster, happy face. Thanks to all the runners and everyone behind the scenes for making AGDQ possible. I've got a $50 donation from, I'm sorry, Jemond Danielson. Making a third donation, happy face. Hopefully this will be read, happy face. Been watching since AGDQ 2013, late bloomer, and wanting to get into speedrunning myself, but will have to make time. But I digress. Thank you for all you are doing. Have a Freddie Mercury. You restore my faith in humanity. And again, I want to thank you guys so much. Absolutely. I mean, you can probably get lost in just how many donations we've taken in, but again, over $692,000, coming up on $700,000. That's absolutely incredible. Last year we raised $450,000, and we've still got a good 12, 13 hours worth of good gaming for you. So let's see how far we can push that. I've also got a $10 donation from Cakesphere. Love to watch you guys playing for a good cause. My 91 years young grandpa is living with cancer. And while I'm pretty sure he doesn't know what video games are, I'm sure he'd love you guys coming together to entertain us. Really enjoying Paper Mario. Keep up the good work, all.
Alright, so I got through the first half of this cutscene, and earlier the guard wanted this clubber to come because he's supposed to be doing guard duty or something. So he is sleeping outside, sleeping on the job, so I went out and now I'm pretending to be this clubber, so that's going to let me get further into the castle and get some information. So after this chapter now, you're going to start seeing a lot more glitches coming up again in Chapter 7. There are a few there, and then there's quite a few clips in Chapter 8 as well. Chapter 6 is pretty stale in that regard. It's because, like I was saying before, it's very linear, and there's no real way to break it because of the triggers involved. But yeah, you'll be seeing some crazy stuff coming up. Anyway, I mean, there's still like another minute or so of cutscenes if you got something you want to...
Sure. Also want to plug you guys on the prizes we've got. I just want to give a real quick shout out to everyone who has donated prizes. The commentary this year has been absolutely amazing. A great job to Anatomyz and all the runners and all the couch commentary. It's been hard to really appreciate everyone who's been able to contribute to this. So I'd like to actually just give a quick round of applause to everyone who's donated prizes. For the length of this game, which you got about another, hour 20 left in this run, probably?
What's my time at, by the way?
You're at 1:25.
What's that?
1:25.
All right.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, it's another hour or so.
About another hour or so. And if you guys get in a minimum $10 donation during this game, then you will be entered into the drawings for either the Paper Mario cast poster, again donated by Croco Goat, or the Super Paper Link donated by Gary Storekamp. And you can see pictures of all of those, I think all of them, if you go to our website, speeddemosarchive.com, and check the ticker at the top of the screen.
Okay, so now I need to go to Chapter 7. So the only way to do that, I believe I mentioned it before, but I need to talk to Merlin right now. Otherwise, that blue door in the sewers, it's not going to open. So I need to go through this really short cutscene and This guy basically wants me to come to his town and stuff and save him, but I'm not even going to see him from here on out. I'm going to be skipping him completely. So now I'm heading back to the sewers, and I'm going to go to Chapter 7. Same way, through the blue house. And I'm going to be using those blocks that I hit just a little while ago in order to get to that blue door. And since I talked to Merlin, it is now unlocked. And there's just like one more pipe right here. And now I'm in Chapter 7. So this chapter is going to start off a little bit slow, I guess. There's one clip right at the beginning. This is called a lackluster clip. I'm basically going to clip inside of a house right here by standing at a specific angle on the side of the house. And it lets me clip inside like that. Normally I'd have to get a key and unlock it, but now I'm going to navigate my way to the top and find a trampoline inside the house that's going to let me get out. And now I'm going to go inside here. And as a side effect of that glitch, this house is going to be completely black. I can't see anything. Normally you'd be able to if you did everything here the intended way, but since I clipped inside, the house is just completely black. So what's actually going on here is there's a murder case. Everyone thinks, I believe it's the mayor got murdered or something. So this guy right here is going to help me. It's going to help me solve the case. So now I'm just heading over to the mayor's house. On this screen right here. So I gotta wait for him to go inside. So while he's going inside, I'm gonna switch my partners. One of the only places where you can do that. And one thing I forgot to mention earlier in the run, you're gonna notice that the game is lagging quite a bit at points, and that is actually VC only. The N64 version is a lot more. It's a lot better in that regard. It doesn't lag much at all. VC is very bad for whatever reason. But it still turns out that VC is faster just because of the loading zones in the game. But it would be a lot faster if not for the lag in this game. But the lag kind of catches N64 up a little bit. But VC in this game is, in this category, it's probably 30 to 45 seconds faster than N64, something like that. No one really knows because it's really hard to time lag. So we just kind of have estimates. But yeah, if you notice any lag, that's just because of the VC version. There's nothing I can do about it. That's how the game is. So anyway, it turns out this guy wasn't dead. And now I'm going to be able to exit the village, which I'm going to do in a very cool way, I guess, as you'll see in a second. I'm going to be doing a glitch called what we call a sushi glitch, where, well, I'll let it speak for itself when I do it. Coming up right here on this dock. All right. So now I'm swimming on land, and this is going to allow me to skip a lot of stuff in this chapter. First, I need to fight Junior Troopa again. This fight is a little bit safer than Huff, but it's still kind of dangerous. I believe I need a 5 bounce in this fight. Blocks aren't important at all, though. So, same thing as last fight. Just going to start by charging up. Going to do a little bit of extra damage with Sushi right here. And one thing that's very important, with the Sushi glitch activated, I can't switch my partner, otherwise the glitch will deactivate, which I'm going to be using later on. But for now, I need to make sure I keep Sushi out, otherwise the glitch will deactivate, and I need to go all the way back and do it again. So dying right here is fine. This is part of the route, but I actually got a close call, which is good. It's going to save my life stream for now, so probably going to get hit on this turn again. So I'm going to die right here, probably, and it's completely fine. It's part of the route.
Wow.
All right.
That RNG.
So,
Hell of a lot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's dead. All right, so that was, I guess that is a perfect fight right there. I've never gotten that before, but yeah, I got super lucky. All right. So now as you'll see, as I enter the screen, the glitch reactivates. So normally what you have to do is you have to give some items to these snowmen and they open up a path, but instead I'm just going to swim underneath this wall and trigger a loading zone right behind here. So that just saved a ton of time right there. There's a lot of side stuff you have to do in this chapter. So I'm swimming out of bounds right now, and what I'm going to do is get in an encounter intentionally. And what that is it cancels the glitch for the time being. And the reason I want to do that is because it's faster to just run to the end of the screen rather than swimming to the end. It's very slow to go upstairs during this glitch, so it's worth the time to get in that encounter on purpose and just spin all the way to the end. And the glitch will reactivate once again. So I'm going to swim out of bounds again right here. And this will skip some more stuff involving this switch right here. Normally you'd have to hit it and do another battle, but Sushi Glitch skips all of that. So I swim up the stairs and now I'm going to get into another encounter right here, but this time I want to deactivate the glitch. So I'm going to run first of all. And I'm going to upgrade Paracarry right here. So if I was to change partners normally, I would actually soft lock on this screen. I would just get stuck, unable to move. But if you do it in an upgrade block, for whatever reason you don't soft lock. So I'm upgrading Paracarry, and now that Sushi isn't out, the glitch will deactivate, and I'll be able to walk normally again. So on the next screen, there's another major trick coming up. I guess not major, but it looks really cool. It saves about a minute. It's called Staircase Skip. This is one of the more risky tricks in the whole run. You can actually soft lock your game if you do this incorrectly, so hopefully I do not do that. Alright, so what I'm trying to do is clip inside this wall first of all, and then I'm going to fall to the top floor and go all the way around this entire screen to the palace. Alright, so I got to the top. Now I need to land on the edge of the world again right here. Which I did, and that gets me up here. Now I need to get the Mega Jump badge before I go any further. So I'm going to fall down here, and what?
What?
Alright, so that's new, I guess. But, yeah, so I guess I have to do that again. I somehow triggered that loading zone while I was falling, so I got to do everything again. Wow, that was... seeing a lot of crazy stuff this run. But unfortunately, because that wastes some time. So I'm going to follow up again, try to get this again. Hopefully I get it. I missed it now, so I got to try again. Okay, I'm going to take this a little bit slower, I guess, because I don't want that to happen again. Fall way over there. I'm getting Mega Jump, and now I'm going to fall back up in that exact same spot. That should be fine. Yeah, now I'm on the top floor again. And now I can enter the palace. So the palace is kind of like Chapter 6. It's pretty straightforward. You need a lot of keys to get through this chapter, and there's no real way to skip them. So, unfortunately, like Chapter 6, I have to do everything in order for the most part. Get all these keys, kill pretty much every fight, and yeah. Get to the end. There's one small trick inside here, a little time saver that I'll be able to do. Other than that, not much. So I got the first key, and now I need to raise the floor right here. Pretty much, I guess the gimmick with this dungeon is what you do on one side of the dungeon mirrors the other side. So if anything I do, like breaking the floor or something like that, if I do it on one side, it'll also do it on the other. The only exception is this right here, blowing up the wall. For whatever reason, it doesn't blow up the other side. So I need to do that myself. And there's a fight right here with some Duplighosts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on them first. Just one jump. I'm going to miss the action command on purpose. And that's just kind of a safety precaution right there. They have 15 HP. So now that guy has 6 HP left, so I can kill him with one more power bomb. Something that's interesting about these guys, though, is that if they transform, like this guy did, you can actually just kill them instantly with Power Bomb. So even though I did less damage to that back guy, you'll see he just explodes, even though I didn't do enough damage to kill him normally. There's going to be another fight in Chapter 8 where I'm going to be doing pretty much the same thing. But I'm not going to be attacking with Mario on the first turn, and I'm going to be hoping that some of them transform. Alright, so this is what I was talking about earlier, about everything being mirrored. So there's this stuff on the ground right here that I need to break. So I broke it, and now I'm just going to head back to the other side. And now that I did that, there's going to be a hole over there. It's going to let me drop down, and that is where the next key is going to be located. So I'm going to be doing stuff similar to that throughout the whole dungeon, I guess, including fights that are going to remove stuff later. So now, as you can see, there's a hole where the X was before, and I can go inside here. Now there's another little mini game right here. I have to find the correct bombette, which is always the second one from the right. So I just have to hit all the other ones with a hammer, and then I can go further. If I try to run away or something, they'll actually grab me, so I have to do this. However, with the other one coming up, it's going to be something similar with Cooper, and there's a trick I can actually do to skip them, so you'll see that in about 5 minutes or so. Alright, so now that's done, and now I can go in here, and this is going to be the next key to get further. Alright, so I'm going to go all the way back to that main room again, and I'm going to lower the floor this time, because the other key is on the bottom floor. I think it's the bottom anyway. Pretty sure I went up, but yeah. Yep, lowering the floor, so. Going this way now, and now there's going to be a few fights. Most of which are pretty easy. As you can see, I already have Bombette out, so I'm guessing you can all assume what's coming next. But first I'm going to eat this maple, because I'm going to need the FP for the fights coming up. Okay, so these fights get, I guess, progressively harder. Supposed to anyway. So this first fight is 1 Clubba and 1 Magic Koopa. So an interesting thing about this fight is that if I just kill the Clubba by himself, the Magic Koopa will just run away. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm killing the Clubba because it's faster, and this guy just runs away. So that fight's done. The next fight now, it's going to be 2 Clubbas and 1 Magic Koopa again. So there's just going to be more Clubbas the more and more I go. Except now I'm just going to be using Starstorm and Power Bomb like I was on the mole fights in Chapter 6. So this is just a really easy way to clear everything on the screen. I believe they all have 12 health, so this is doing more than what I need. And after all these fights are done, I'm going to level up again. Even though I'm at 39 experience right now, I'm going to be getting a ton from these fights. Alright, yeah, so I'm at 68 right now. Last one's going to give me about 40 or something. And same thing here, just Starstorm and Power Bomb. So you might have noticed in the background as I was killing these guys, each time I kill one of the Clubbas, there's a statue in the background that disappears. So these fights are required to, you have to do them, otherwise you can't get past the other side. And you'll be able to see that on the last one here if you didn't notice that. But anyway, this is where the route gets a little bit crazy compared to all cards. If you saw that at SGDQ, you'll notice that Pi never leveled up HP because he didn't need to, but however, in any percent, considering we get very few items in this category and it's pretty tough to stay alive on some of the fights, we actually level up HP twice throughout the route. So my first level up is going to be right there because I need the HP for Crystal King, which is the next boss. So there's a door right there, which means there's a hole right here. And I'm going to get this badge called Triple Dip, which is going to be very useful on Final Bowser. So I'm just going to drop Bombette here, go around to the other side, and progress further. Alright, got around that guy just fine. And now this is where the trick of the palace is. This is called Cooper Skip. Like I was saying before, it's pretty much the same thing as the Bombette thing. I gotta find the real Cooper, so I mean, pretty tough, but I mean, I'm just gonna skip this instead. It saves about 15 seconds if I get it first try, but it's pretty precise, so I have a very weird setup I do. And I got it, okay. So that trick, there's like, I think it's like 2 pixels or something that you can actually do it on. The setup I do is very weird, but it works, so. Anyway, now I'm going to the other side, and this is gonna be the same thing as before. I'm gonna push a statue in this room, And what that's going to do is it's going to open up a hole on the other side again, which I need for a key. So I'm getting that gem and jelly right there, which I need for the Crystal King fight coming up. And I pushed that block out of the way without falling, which is good. Saved some time. And I opened up that hole when I pushed it, meaning the other side now has a hole as well. Which you'll see on this screen. And it is a very big statue, so I wouldn't have been able to push that one, so I had to push the small one first. So I'm just going to lure this guy over here, spin around him. And the last key is right here. So now we're pretty much at the end of the palace. I'm just going to backtrack to where I just was. And there's a small puzzle I need to solve. And then it's going to be the end. And I'm going to fight Crystal King, who is actually probably the easiest boss fight in this category. He's going to do 9 attacks throughout the fight. I need to block 4 of them. If I block 4, I'll live. If I block any more than 4, it doesn't matter. But if I block less than 4, I will die and use the life shroom. But since I got super lucky earlier in the run, that's not going to be a huge deal. However, I do need at least a 4 bounce on this fight. If I don't get a 4 bounce, there's a chance that he can actually heal himself. So I'm going to be saving before this fight in the off chance that that does happen, which it can because a 3 cap for him does exist as well. And yeah, hopefully with any luck, I should be fine on this fight. So, puzzle right there. I just have to make them face the correct direction and push them all onto the switches. And the stairs lower right here. So I'm going to save right here. And now I am on the Crystal King fight. So this guy, I believe, has 70 HP, but it doesn't matter that much because, again, I'm just going to charge the entire fight and kill him in 1 turn. So the only thing I'm really worried about are the blocks. Just 4 and I'm fine. I'm probably just going to try to block everything just because. But I'm going to use a different ability right here. This ability I'm using right now is called Chill Out. And what this does is it lowers all damage that enemies do by 3. So since Crystal King attacks with these little snow bits or whatever, it's going to lower the attack damage of all of them. Which means that instead of hitting me for 4 each time, they're going to be hitting me for 1. So if I block, they will do no damage. And I blocked all 3, which is good. So I need 1 more block for the rest of the fight. And I'm good. But for now, I'm just going to start charging up and do damage with Paracarry when I can. His attack is very fast, as you might have noticed. So I'm going to be using him on every boss fight from here on out. Charging again. And hopefully I'll get at least 1 block right here, and that means I'll live until I have to bounce. Which I did, okay. So now I need to eat this gem and jelly, which I just picked up because I need more FP to charge. More shell shots, and now this guy's, his chill out debuff or whatever is gonna fade. So now he's gonna actually start doing damage to me, but since I blocked enough attacks, it's not gonna be enough to kill me. So another charge right here. Another shell shot. And what I do here doesn't matter, I'm just gonna block them anyway. Or miss 1, it's fine. 1 more charge, and he's gonna summon bits again. And on this next turn, before I get attacked and killed, I'm gonna bounce. So I need a 4 here, so hopefully I do not get 3 cap, because that would be very bad. Alright, I got 4, and I'm just gonna stop on that, don't need any more damage. And he's dead, and I get a ton of experience for that. So, like I was saying, pretty easy fight, but you can get very unlucky and get 3 cap. It's actually never happened to me before, but I've seen it happen to other runners of the game. So up until this point, I've had pretty good luck on caps and everything else, like close call as well. This is probably, I guess, better than average luck throughout this run so far, but there are a few fights coming up where I'm going to need more luck. Hopefully I'll get lucky there as well. Anyway, this chapter is done, and there's another cutscene coming up, another Peach scene, which I don't have to do anything in, but it's a good time for donations again.
I've got $10 from Yo Chung. Awesome commentary, Nat. Let's get to 700K. Got a $20 donation from Andrew Fojla. I'm sorry. AGDQ is one of my favorite weeks of the year. The runs are great, the couch commentary is fun, even for someone who has rarely attempted a speed run, and all the donating is infectious. Thanks another great marathon drive. I've got a $10 donation from Tetrahydron. Hello everyone at the AGDQs. You guys are doing amazing things for an amazing cause. Keep up the great work, and I wish Anatomyz the best of luck on the run. $50 from Yoshiality. I've been watching as much as I can all week. You guys have fun. You guys have put on an amazing event. Here's hoping for many more great events in the future. Cosmos Wind Waker run. Hype! Got a $10 donation from Spancer. Both my grandfather and my aunt died to cancer. Therefore, I felt obliged to donate at least a little bit while my favorite N64 game is played. Thanks for all those awesome runs so far. A $150 donation from Pyre. I love what everyone's doing. Blindfolded Punch-Out was amazing. Keep up the good work and good luck on Bowser. Got a $100 donation from Aaron Horton. Here's your money. Now stop sitting around playing video games and do something useful, like, I don't know, raising money for cancer research or something. You got it.
Alright, so now Chapter 7's done, so I'm just going to head back to Toad Town and start Chapter 8. But first I'm going to grab some items on the way there that I'm going to need for the fights coming up. So if I was to grab these items on the way to Chapter 7, I would actually just lock myself out because those walls would close. But I can grab them on the way back with no punishment, really. So I just got to spin through everything here. That was good. Sometimes those guys can be pretty dangerous if they hit you. And this is all the stuff that I was supposed to do normally on the way in, but since I had the sushi glitch, I just was able to skip all this stuff. So there's a repel gel behind this tree right here. This is the third one I'm getting. And that will be the last one that I need. Alright, that was good as well. So just going back the exact same way I came in, going through the blue house and back to Toad Town. I'm actually going to go back to Shooting Star Summit where I met the Star Spirits originally, and they're going to carry me up to Chapter 8.
We've got a $75 donation from Covet. My thanks goes to everyone involved for setting up another excellent GDQ. It was discovered that I have a genetic defect that makes me high risk for cancers, and I am now being screened constantly. Thanks to fundraisers like this, my life is much more secure. Let's continue to smash video games and make more breakthroughs in cancer research. Got a $10 donation from Sonia Davis. Keep up the good work. Paper Mario is amazing. Getting ready for that Cosmo hype. I've got $10 from, Toon Krujper. Dear runners, stop ruining my childhood. But in all seriousness, thanks to everyone for what you are doing. Much love from the Netherlands. Got a $30 donation from Prose Quinnell. Hi everyone. I've been aware of the speedrunning community and its charity work since just after last year's AGDQ, and I'm really enjoying the positive attitude you bring to the otherwise hostile and competitive gaming scene. Thank you for raising money for a good cause and really entertaining me while doing it. Smooch.
Okay, so now I'm on my way to Chapter 8. I'm going to do a similar strategy on these enemies right here. Since the screen is so narrow, this is very similar to the strategy I was using on that one screen in Chapter 6, if you remember. Basically, I'm getting them to notice me, and then I'm spinning away quickly so they get confused, and that allows me to just spin straight past them. So while I'm here, I need to buy another Shooting Star. Normally, I would get it earlier in the run, but since I have an extra repel gel and stuff, I wasn't able to get it because of item problems. So I'm going to get rid of one of my life shrooms right now. It's the only thing I can get rid of. And buy this Shooting Star.
Did you?
What's that?
You didn't die enough, I guess.
Yeah, like I got so lucky with close calls. Like I was expecting to die more, but That's good, I guess. Anyway, so that's all I needed from that shop. And now I'm going to head up to, I guess, the actual Chapter 8, which is Bowser's Castle. So there's another cutscene right here. Basically, I'm getting like a space boat thing and getting sent up to Chapter 8 again. So another good time for donations. Like,
All right. I've got a $10 donation from Chucky Doris. AGDQ is so much fun. I started watching last year, and you guys influenced me to try my own hand at speedrunning Mirror's Edge. Thank you for those endless hours of entertainment and playing for such a great cause. I've got a $20 donation from Almost Dr. Kayla. This is my first year watching. I lost my dad to lymphoma 5 years ago this week. He would have loved everything about this. Down with cancer, up with AGDQ. I've got a $20 donation from Derek Hartley. It's been fun seeing all my precious childhood games being broken and destroyed. Thanks to everyone for putting this together. Thank you, Derek. I've got a $55 donation from Brent Stevens. Thanks for all the great runs. I've loved watching you break games all week while sitting on my couch with Mono. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at that. Okay, I couldn't decide on what to donate to, but now I know. Put this towards having the guy on the couch in the long sleeve shirt unbutton his top button. You're sitting on a couch, time to loosen up a bit.
All right.
It's getting hot in here with boss beat.
$55 per button, sweet. All right, we'll see.
We'll see how long that goes.
I'll see. How much you get? No.
picture.
All right. I also got a $20 donation from Lena. You know, I'm just going to call you Razius. Thanks for the awesome marathon stream. Thank you.
All right, so now I'm in Chapter 8, and first, sorry, there's a picture right there I'm laughing at. But,
Oh my goodness.
anyway, I'm using the Thunder Rage I picked up on the way back from Chapter 7, as well as Bombette's ability right here. These guys only have 8 HP, so I can kill them pretty easily. And this is also another forced battle, because this guy has a key like the guy in Chapter 1 did. So now I'm going inside, and at the end of this hallway there's going to be a door who I guess asks me if I want to keep going or whatever, something like that, but then he tricks me and makes me fall into a jail. But as you might remember with Bombette, there's always a way out of a jail, so I'll be able to get out of there and make my way back here. And that's where another big trick is coming up. It looks very small, but it's actually pretty big in this chapter. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is get a life shroom from over here. Gonna need a couple later on, so I'll get that right now. I might actually have to get rid of that because of item space, but we'll see. All right, so I blew up the wall there, and now I'm just gonna go this way and pull out Lackluster. All right, so normally what you have to do in this chapter is you have to pretty much save everybody in the jail. And by doing that, you have to go through the basement of the chapter. But what I'm gonna do instead of doing that is I'm gonna do, I guess, like we don't even have a name for it. I'll just call it a block clip. And I'm gonna be using the Ultra Boots basically to clip through a badge block. And that's gonna allow me to skip the entire basement of this chapter. So like I was saying, this trick looks very small, but the amount of stuff it skips is it's pretty big. Yeah, it's a lot. All right, so the block is right up here, so I just need to get in a specific spot, and I can clip through it like that. Now what I'm gonna do is carry over to the side, and there's like an invisible thing there that I can go on, and now I'm back in the front entrance. So that skip right there saved probably like 10 minutes or something. All right, now I'm just going back the way I came, back down this hallway, and now this door is actually gonna let me through for whatever reason. I don't know why he just doesn't drop the floor again, but he does. So I'm going through, and there's gonna be a lot of clips coming up in the next couple of rooms here. They're gonna be all Lackluster clips, which I did with Staircase Skip earlier. they're gonna make these rooms pretty cool. So, all right. So normally what you have to do in these rooms is continually raise and lower the water in order to get the key at the top, and then lower the water again to open the door. But what I'm going to do here is, this is very minor, this saves seconds, but I'm going to lackluster clip on the edge over here, and what that's going to allow me to do is that. So now I'm walking on water. So normally you'd have to swim, but doing this is a little bit faster. I'm just going to clip back in bounds right here. Like that. That lowers the switch, and now I'm on the top floor. So I need to raise the water one more time. I'm going to blow up this wall right here, and there's another switch on top of this block. And this is another reason why the ultra boots are unskippable, because you'd have no way to reach that block if you didn't have them. So I got to go all the way over to this chain, and this is going to raise the water all the way to the top floor. So after I get the key here, normally, like I was saying, you'd have to lower the water again all the way to the bottom, but instead I'm going to do a series of lackluster clips, and you'll see. All right, so the only way to get over here is to swim to the key. Now I can open the door that's on the bottom floor again. So I'm going to go in here, and instead of lowering the water, I'm going to clip into this wall. And I can fall straight down there. That's actually a time saver right there. That's relatively new. Normally you used to do 2 lackluster clips. Anyway, this trick right here is called Canonless. It's actually pixel perfect. So I think I got the pixel right there, which I did. That allowed me to clip inside the wall, and now I want to land on the edge of the world again right here, which I did. So that was like a perfect canonless right there.
Nice.
And you can, I guess you can see why it's called canonless, because I skip all the cannons in this room that I would normally have to fight. All right, hopefully this guy right here doesn't hit me. He can actually hit you if you're really unlucky, but yeah, got lucky there. So there's a strat coming up in this room for a hammer bro. This room actually used to be very dangerous, but thanks to a runner named Sabby, he found this strat where you can actually drag this hammer bro away, way over there like that, and by the time he gets back, I should be able to get through the door like that. All right, and that is like actually a major strat, because that guy right there, what we used to do is we used to just go up to the block and start pushing it. So we're invincible while we're pushing the block. But the thing is, that guy, he just turrets hammers at you the whole time. So if you're unlucky, which happens a lot on that guy, he can actually first strike you right out of that pushing animation. And what would happen is you get in an encounter, and since I'm in Chapter 8 at a very low level, the run meter starts out extremely low, and it's impossible to mash it all the way. So if I was to get in an encounter there, I might actually just like die. I've actually lost runs on world record pace to that guy before we actually had a strat for him. All right, so this quiz right here, it's always the same. It's always 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. The order never changes. He's basically asking me specific questions, like how many of the blue shy guy, for example. And I can't read Japanese, I just have it memorized. But yeah, it's always 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. So this is gonna take another minute or so. So another good time for donations.
I've got a $20 donation from Philip Taylor. Awesome commentary. All right, thank you. We got a $20 donation from a lot of characters not being read, but I will try this. Or I'm just gonna say Zeppelin. Yeah, that's a no. Hello, the French community. Got a $100 donation from Joseph Kerwin. You guys are all great. Heart. A $10 donation from Preston Stutzman. Though I didn't lose my mother to cancer, it's still something nobody should go through. Shoutouts to my favorite streamers, Pi, Almo, Stiv, and Flair. Love, Prue. We've got a $10 donation from Okami163. Hey everyone, this is my first AGDQ, and I can definitely say after this entire week, it won't be my last. I decided to get the full experience and donate. That and I won't be able to donate during Cosmo's run. Work strikes again. Thanks for such an amazing event and putting the money towards such an amazing cause. Got a $10 donation from Ricky Hua. Hey guys, loving AGDQ 2014. Paper Mario has always been one of my favorite childhood games. I love seeing Elmo and Pi sitting on the couch in the back. I'll donate another $10 if I see them fight to the death. Just kidding. But I will donate if they give each other a big bro hug. Oh. They were already halfway there.
All right, so that quiz is finally done, and what I just grabbed was another gem and jelly. I was right before. My items were actually full, so I tossed away a life shroom. I'm not going to need it for now. But everything else that I have in my inventory, I need for fights coming up. So life shroom is the only thing that I can throw away. I do have one extra with me, but I'm unable to carry 2 at this point. So I have to get one later. So there's another small, not even really a puzzle, but basically I have to go upstairs, get a key, and then go back downstairs. Best way to do that, I guess, is use Trooper on this switch. You can actually use Bombette as well. I prefer using Trooper, but yeah, there's a key right here. And now I have to backtrack into that previous room, and I'm going to go to the bottom floor, and I'll be able to open the door now. This is probably the last scary screen in terms of encounters, because it's a very narrow screen. It's tough to avoid them. So there's a little maze right here, which is also always the same. It's always up, down, down, up, down, up. So I just went up, and now I just need to follow the pattern, and I'll make it all the way through. If I was to do it wrong, it would just throw me all the way back to the beginning, and I'd have to do everything again. But, I mean, yeah, pretty easy to remember. It's very convenient that the stuff like this is it's always the same, like the quizzes and everything like that. Otherwise, we might run into some problems. All right, this is the last screen with enemies on it, so with that, this run is officially encounter-free, I guess. And, all right, so now I'm talking to Princess Peach, except it's not actually Princess Peach. It's actually some Dupligos. So I need to go to the 6th pole right here, turn around, and I saw the Dupligos. So now I have to hit her 3 times. And like I was explaining in Chapter 7, if these guys transform, I can kill them in 1 hit. So I'm going to be trying to do that right here. So I'm going to do nothing with Mario. And I'm going to powerbomb right here just to get their HP down a little bit. So preferably at least 3 will transform. There's 1. 1 attack. So hopefully both of these 2 transform. There's 1. And there's an attack. Okay, so since only 2 of them transformed, I have to use Starstorm right here. If all of them would have transformed, I would have been able to just powerbomb. If 3 transformed, I would have just jumped on the last one and then powerbomb. So Starstorm, obviously the slowest, but got bad luck, so that's fine. Only wastes a few seconds. All right, so I'm going to level again right here, and this is going to be another FP level up. Reason being, it's going to make Hallway Bowser and the next Junior Troopa fight a lot easier. So I'm going to switch to Parakarry before this fight and going into Junior Troopa. This fight is it's a very big fight in any percent. If this fight goes well for you, you're pretty much good to go, but if it goes badly, there's not a lot you can do. I'm going to lose a life shroom unless I get a close call, which, I mean, at the rate I'm going, it might happen. But yeah, I need to block every single attack. And on top of that, I need to get a 5 bounce at the end. So if I'm unlucky and get a 4 cap, I'll be losing a life shroom on this fight, more than likely. Alright, so same strat as always, I'm just charging up and using Shell Shot whenever I can. I got the first 2 blocks, now I'm going to use my last Whack-A-Bump from Chapter 2. It's going to restore my health and FP. Another Shell Shot, and I need 2 more blocks, 1 more charge, and then at least a 5 bounce would be perfect. If I get a 4, we might run into some problems coming up. Alright, I got all the blocks, now I got to get a 5. Perfect. 6. That's a perfect fight. All right, that's really good.
Good luck.
So the reason that's so important is it allowed me to hang on to the life stream that I have. I need a life stream for Final Bowser. And there's another one I can get inside the castle, but I also have another kind of difficult fight coming up that we just call Hallway Bowser. I can lose a life stream there very easily as well. So if I was to lose a life stream on Junior Troopa and then another life stream on Hallway Bowser, it would actually be impossible for me to kill Final Bowser. So I would have had to reset or something like that. So I got lucky, and that's not going to be the case. But I'm going to save anyway, just in case something crazy happens. And now I'm going to go into a section of this castle, which is the library. And that's going to have the life stream, and it's also going to have another badge called Power Rush. And what Power Rush does is it increases my damage by 2 whenever I'm in danger, which is 5 or less HP. So I'm only going to be using it for this fight, but it makes this fight a lot safer. So there's my life stream, and Power Rush is right here. So I'm just going to equip it over close call right now. Like that. And if I get into danger on this fight, which I should, I'll be able to do a lot more damage than normal. So the thing that's dangerous about Bowser in this game is that his attacks can be hard to block. And his attacks are RNG as well. He has 3 attacks. He has Fire, Claw, and Stomp. Fire does 8 normally, 7 blocked. Claw, I believe, does 6. It also poisons you if you don't block it. It does 5 blocked. And there's Stomp. Stomp does 6, 5 blocked, and if you miss the block, you'll either lose your items, your jump, or your hammer ability for a few turns. So that's going to be very important on these 2 fights. Alright, his first turn, he's giving me Claw. And I got poisoned. That is very bad. Alright. So it's not a huge deal, but I'm hoping he gives me Claw or Stomp on the next turn. If he gives me Fire, I'm going to die, which isn't the end of the world because I do have a life stream. But I would like to hang on to it. Alright, so this fight is always the same as well. He's going to star out in this turn, and I'm going to remove it and do a little bit more damage. And this turn right here, I guess, is going to determine a lot. So hopefully I will get, I guess I would like Stomp the most. Fire is going to instantly kill me, and Claw, I believe I'll die from poison damage. I could be wrong. He's giving me Claw, and I blocked it, so I'm going to live. Alright, so now I need a 4 bounce right here. That would be ideal. And I got it. Okay, good. That was a good fight as well. I missed the first block, but it was fine because he gave me another Claw. Alright, so this is my last level up, so I'm going to level up HP again to 20. And the reason for that is that Bowser's attacks get a lot stronger on the final fight. So he's going to be doing 10 damage with Fire, he's going to be doing 8 with the other 2 attacks. Obviously 1 less if I block them. And there are some very important mechanics on that fight, which I'll explain in a little bit. But yeah, the amount of health I have right now is very important because I want to be able to get into danger on that fight. If I don't get into danger, he actually has a chance to heal himself. So pretty much the goal of this whole fight is to get into danger and then stay in danger for as long as I can. So to do that, I'm going to be abusing the repel gels that I got throughout the run earlier. Alright, I'm also going to switch my badges right here. I only need 2. I'm going to use Mega Jump and Triple Dip, which I both picked up in Chapter 7. Triple Dip, like I said before, it lets me use 3 items at once, and Mega Jump is just a powered up jump attack. Alright. So that's all I need. They cost 3 BP each. I have 6 total, so that's all I can use. So this fight, it's definitely the hardest fight of the game normally. It's very easy to lose a run to this fight. I've lost tons of record pace runs to this fight. Fortunately though, I am using a different route than normal with marathons for marathon, but I have an extra repel gel than I usually get. So hopefully with that, this fight should be a lot easier, but basically the way this fight goes normally is that if I miss like a single block, it's a reset, so. There's an attack later on in the fight that we call the wave. What it does is it damages my partner. If I don't block it, my partner is out for 3 turns, which means I lose 12 damage total. So generally, that is the end of your run if you miss blocking that. But with the extra repel gel, I should be okay. So the first phase, there's not much going on. There's just 2 turns, so I'm going to do Mega Jump and Shell Shot on both turns. And an interesting thing is that when I do Shell Shot, I can actually just flick the control stick. Bowser's hitbox is so big that no matter where it is on the screen, you will always hit him with Shell Shot. Alright, so now he powered up, so I'm just going to attempt to get rid of it, which isn't going to happen, but it'll happen soon. So anyway, I guess this is a good time to explain the mechanics of the fight. As I mentioned, I want to get into danger. So he's going to be, like, depending on which attacks he gives me, I need to block and get hit by certain attacks on the first 2 turns. If I block attacks that I don't need to, I might not get into danger. I might end up at 6 HP. And in the case that I do that, he'll be able to heal. Just for whatever reason, if you're at 5 HP or less, Bowser can't heal himself. I don't know why it's like that, but it is. On top of that, I also can't heal myself, and I also can't use a life shroom. If I do either of those 2 things, he'll heal himself again. And when he heals for 30 HP, so it's pretty big. If it happens, there's basically no coming back from it. I'm going to be using everything I have on this fight in order to kill him before he's able to heal. So, yeah, the first 2 turns, they are more than likely going to determine the entire fight. I guess the best case scenario would be to get 2 fire attacks, because they're the easiest to block. I would block one of them and get hit by the other. It doesn't really matter what I do. I'd be at 1 HP, and then from there, I just need to stay invincible for as long as I can. If I get like double stomp or something like that, stomp is 7 block. So if he does stomp on the first turn and I block it, and he does another stomp, that's only going to do 14 damage to me. I need him to do 15. So if I risk it and not oh my god, and if I risk it and not block the stomp attack, I can actually lose my items. So if I lose my items, the run is basically dead as well. So I did save, so hopefully that won't happen, but worst case scenario, I'll get 2 stomp attacks and pretty much just be unable to kill him because I won't be able to use my repel gels. So yeah, this fight right here, if you haven't already noticed, it's completely scripted. Basically, it's just the star Twink powering up and gonna eventually kill Kammy Koopa here. And this turn, I believe he is invincible. Yep, this is the last turn. She's all scared now. And this is the last hit. And she's dead. So tough fight. I had to try my best for that one. But yeah, now we're getting into the real fight, phase 2. First things first, I'm gonna get a powered up star beam. If you notice on the first fight, the star beam didn't work. So this time, the star Twink, now that he's stronger, he's gonna help out with the star beam. And now I can actually remove it from Bowser. So this cutscene right here is one of the spots where VC actually loses a lot of time. You'll notice that it's like pretty slow. It's actually going like half speed compared to what it's supposed to be going. But again, that's just VC. If you compared this cutscene with N64, you'd be pretty surprised at how fast the N64 one goes. So yeah, super laggy right here. And scariest fight. Here we go.
Let's go at.
Alright, so first things first, I gotta remove his beam, which I'm gonna do right here. And then after this, I'm gonna shell shot. So this is where his attacks come into play. I need him to give me 2 attacks that are gonna get me into danger, and preferably aren't hard to block, like Claw. Claw, I'd say, is the hardest to block. Fire and Stomp are both pretty easy. Alright, let's see what he wants to do. This is Stomp. And I blocked it. Okay, so now the next attack is pretty important. Like I was mentioning, if he gives me Stomp again, that is pretty much the worst possible luck I can get. I'm gonna have to purposely not block it in order to get into danger, and there's a 1 in 3 chance that I'll lose my items. So hopefully I get Claw or Fire right here, and I'll get into danger and not lose my items or anything. So I got Fire, which is perfect. So now, as you can see, I'm at 4 HP or danger. So now what I'm going to do is start abusing my repel gels. And I'm going to be doing this for the rest of the fight. So I'm going to be using those shooting stars I got earlier along with my repel gels to deal some extra damage here. So I'm pretty much on a time limit at this point for how long I can stay alive with all my repel gels. Alright, one more shell shot right here. Now Bowser can do some stuff to determine how the fight goes again. Like right here, he's using his star beam again. It's a turn 3 beam. He can do it on turns 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 3, 4, and 5 are most common, but anyway, I'm going to get rid of it again. I'm lucky because I still have my repel gel on. Sometimes if he does it on turn 4, I would actually have to repel gel and then do nothing with my partner because I wouldn't be able to do any damage. So I was kind of lucky that it was a turn 3, but he might be able to star beam again in the fight. Alright, let's see what he wants to do. So this is the wave attack. And I got hit by it. So that right there is the attack that I was talking about, where in normal runs, that would pretty much be the end of my run. But fortunately, since I have extra repel gels, I'm going to be able to live a lot longer. So even though my partner is out and I'm losing 12 damage, I should still be okay. So what I did there is use another repel gel and refill my FP and use my last attack to do a shooting star again. Alright, so he stomped. Now from here I'm at the point where I'm just going to start spamming Mega Jump and Shell Shock in every single turn until my FP runs out, and then I'm going to have to start using Star Storm. So another one right, no, this is a repel gel actually. Should I triple? No. I'm just going to repel gel right here. I could have triple dipped for extra 6 damage, but I'm just going to repel gel by itself. And he's using beam again, so this is the second time he's used beam in the fight. But again, I have repel gel on right now, so I can get rid of it. And I'll be able to do some extra damage with my partner again next turn. One thing I'm worried about is if he does wave again and I don't block it, I'm going to lose another 12 damage. So I'm hoping either I block it or he doesn't do it again. I should be fine no matter what, but yeah, best case scenario, he just doesn't use wave again. There's wave. Oh man, alright, I missed both, so that's kind of bad. Alright, so I Mega Jump him right here, and I have one more turn left basically. So I'm dying right here. And hopefully he only has 8 HP left. That's all I can do. If this does not kill him, he is going to heal. There's a very high chance he will heal, so hopefully this will kill. Which it didn't, alright. So, nothing I can do about that. That is a reset. But it was completely my fault. That's something I'm known for, is missing that wave block. So, oh well. Not the end of the world, but I am going to have to do that fight again. So that's pretty much like the worst thing that could have possibly happened there. Like I was saying, he beamed twice, and he used wave twice, which is extremely rare, but I guess I got so lucky earlier in the run that I deserved some bad luck. So again, I gotta equip my stuff. All right, I gotta do everything again. So if you got donations, good time again.
Sure. Certainly have plenty of those. I want to once again thank you guys for sending so much in. We've crossed over $695,000 now. So yeah, I've got a $10 donation from Shakangel. Yep, I said it right. Amazing runs, guys. One of my best friends has fought cancer for 5 years now, and she sends you her best wishes and thanks. Keep it up. Got a $20 donation from Under 9,000. This marathon has been so amazing, guys. With events like this, cancer is going to be history. I'm so sad that it's already almost over, but then I remember that Wind Waker and Chrono Trigger are coming up. Best day ever? I think so. Put this donation towards the runner's choice. I've got $83.83 from Cole Forbin. Happy Saturday, folks. It's been a fun and amazing week. $15 from B-S. Hello from France. Love you all. I want some clappas for all the runners and all the staff of AGDQ. You guys are awesome. apart. Almost 700K. That's amazing. I've got a $50 donation from Daniel Gonzalez. Never seen speedruns before, but watching these has been great. Recently, my cousin was diagnosed with leukemia, and he has so far been able to beat it. So happy to see events like this raising so much money for the cause. I've got a $5 donation from Seffi Woot. This is for Blue Glass to stand up, take his glasses off, point at the camera, and say, "This is for you, baby." Nice. Rolling on top of that, we got $5 from Boop Bop. Thank you for all the entertaining speedruns. Here's $5 more towards another button unbuttoned.
Oh my god. Can I help you with
This
it?
is a problem because this morning I kept the shirt on that I wore last night because I was rushing to get down here, so it's just like this terrible color. I was hoping we weren't that far to see it, but I mean,
This terrible color. Everyone's at home judging your outfit. Your shirt.
Could be worse. You could have no shirt on.
that is
right?
very true. I could have no shirt on.
Got chest hair showing.
All right, so hopefully this time around, things will be a little bit different. So yeah, that last wave was definitely all my fault. I missed both of those wave blocks, which is very bad. And on top of that, I think I made a bad decision on one of the later turns when I just used a repel gel and didn't use a shooting star. I think I should have used that right there and I would have been fine, but I thought it was going to be okay. So, my fault, but what can I do, I guess?
I've also got a $100 donation from CJ Ferg 691. Hey guys, I love the work you guys are doing. My mom was just recently diagnosed with thyroid cancer, and seeing you guys run my favorite games for such a great cause really gives me a lot of hope for her recovery. I'm working on my Paper Mario run. Watch out, Anatomyz. Haha. We got a $20 donation from Darno C. Keep up the good work, guys. Really enjoying the stream, even though my girlfriend isn't as happy about me watching you guys all day. By the way, Blue Glass is awesome. We've got a $20 donation from Jack D. Someone very dear to me lost their mother at a young age to cancer. Continue the good work, kicking cancer in the teeth, so that no child will have to grow up without such an important part of their life. Got a $200 donation from Adam Yakarin. I'd just like to thank you guys for the extremely... this music in the background is so holy. I'd just like to thank you guys for the extremely unproductive work week, and probably the next one too, while I look at archived runs. $20 from Josh Ray Person. So sad it's soon over. This past week has been amazing. Had to donate something. It's not much, but it's something. Keep up the good work. Greetings from Malmo, Sweden.
Alright.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead. Do you want to read one more?
$100 from Peter Collingwood. From Peter and Debbie Collingwood, well done everyone. ESP Ken, aka your name here.
Okay, so again, same thing as last fight. I just removed his beam, and on that turn right there, I blocked Claw, which is very good. That attack is pretty scary normally, so it's good that I blocked it. Now I need either Claw or Fire again. Same thing as last fight. If I get that, I will be in danger. If I get Stomp, it is very unlucky. So I got Fire again, which is good. So same thing again now. I'm just going to use my Repel Gels to stay invincible. And this time, hopefully I won't choke and actually block the wave, but we'll see. Alright, so more damage with my shooting stars right now. And let's see what he wants to do. He used his beam on this turn last fight, so it might be different. Yeah, he's using Fire now, okay. So instead I'm going to switch to Paracarry right now and get rid of some more FP. And then triple dip now and refill all my FP again. top of doing more damage with my shooting stars. Alright, so he's probably going to beam on either this turn or the next one. This one is the most common. But we'll see what happens, I guess. So if he does it on this turn, that's probably the worst thing. But he's attacking again, so that's good. So I have to Repel Gel. And I can Shell Shot again right here. So now this turn he will probably beam. Alright, there it is. So now I can remove it since I already have my Repel on. And now I'm worried about the wave attack again. Since he's doing such a late pattern this time, it might be okay if I miss the block again. But hopefully I just block it and the fight will be over a lot quicker. Alright, let's see what he wants to do. Nope, he's doing a lightning attack, so this one doesn't do anything. I already have Repel on, so that's fine. I'm going to put my last Repel on right now. And now this is Wave. Alright, that time I blocked it. So that's going to be the end of the fight now for sure. So it should have happened the first time. He should be dead right here, actually. Nope. One more turn.
Yeah.
4 health? Yeah. Alright, but either way, normally in any percent, what you do is you actually die every fight. But since I have that extra Repel Gel, that's not even going to happen. So I'm just going to kill him right now. Which is faster than normal, I guess. But the strats I had to use are a lot slower to get the extra Repel Gel. And should be dead right here. Yep, he's dead. Alright. No, it's not time yet. Sorry, I should have mentioned that, but it's not time yet. There's a little bit of stuff left, and I have to fulfill the donation incentive. So there's a little bit more to go. But anyway, yeah, that was a good second fight. That should have happened the first time, but it's whatever. Unfortunate, but yeah. Anyway, that's Paper Mario. So I hope you guys enjoyed the run, other than a huge choke at the end. But what can you do? Anyway, I just want to give a shout out to a few of the other people in the Paper Mario community. First of all, Rob Dog and Bone Crusher. Most of the tricks you saw on this run were discovered by them. Without them, this game would still probably be around like the 4-hour mark, more than likely. So huge shout out to them for discovering a lot of the glitches. Also Flare, still here? Yeah, Flare right back there. Headstrong. Just all the other runners, like all the new runners. We got Pi over here, we got Elmo. Bosby, who's done a run.
I actually have the worst time on the leaderboard.
Yeah. Yeah, just like I know there's a bunch of other runners watching at home. So like we got Juicy, Ishnism, Geminio, Giga, DSY, 7, Stealthy. I'm sorry if I missed anyone, but yeah, I don't have a list or anything. Hopefully I got all the current runners right there, but yeah, the game would be nothing without all the people involved, so huge shout out to everyone who's made this game become what it is. So anyway, we recently changed the timing of this game. We used to time all the way to the end of the credits, but recently we decided it was kind of pointless because the credits are 9 minutes long. So what we do instead is we just go to the castle cutscene coming up, to when Peach raises her hands. The reason we do that instead of just stopping at the Star Rod is there's actually movement coming up that I have to still do, as well as a skip. The skip is called Luigi Skip. And basically what happens is if I do the skip, it saves like 10 seconds or something. Luigi doesn't get to come to the party at the end of the game. So there was a donation incentive I added yesterday for Luigi to come to the party. So that was met. So I'm purposely going to fail the skip, and Luigi gets to come hang out.
Yeah.
Alright, so there's like there's a couple more minutes of cutscenes coming up, so if you have more donations, another good time.
We got a $10 donation from Yannick Jagel. I've been watching for all the week. I lost my grandfather to lung cancer when I was very young, so I hope this helps. Keep it up. The end goal's near. Got a $20 donation from Suki Kaji. So hyped for the finale runs tonight. You guys are amazing for doing this for such a great cause. $50 from Yu-Ho. Hello everyone. I've been following AGDQ and other speedrunning marathons since last year, and this is the first time I'm donating. It simply is commendable that you are all using those well-earned skills for a great cause. After hearing many of the donation comments, I find myself lucky to have been spared the ravages of cancer. This money goes to the ones who were less fortunate. Godspeed. $20 from Cam Rosie. Loving watching AGDQ this year. Keep up all the great work. $10 from Jessica Cantlope. This is for all the people touched by cancer. Paper Mario is one of my all-time favorite games. I'm so happy you streamed it for AGDQ. Good luck and thank you, everyone. $100 from Sweetie and Cakes. From Sweden, with love, thank you all for a great event. The Punch-Out runs blew us away. Can't wait for the next AGDQ. P.S. Liked the segment of Awful Games Done Quick. $50 from Vere. Keep up the good work, guys. $13.37 from Kai Kubasta. Thanks for the great speedruns. $50 from Mike Lorenzen. Thanks for an amazing marathon. Gimme the Majora's Mask bundle.
All right, so I'm pretty much at the end of these cutscenes now, and this is where Luigi skip would happen. It's not even really like a trick. It's very easy to do. All you do is just hold down on your control stick during the next cutscene, and for whatever reason, they give you control of Mario before you're all the way down the pipe. So what that would do is skip the cutscene on the next screen because Luigi doesn't actually make it through the pipe. So usually I'm just instinctively holding down at this point, waiting for the next screen. But instead I'm not even gonna like put my hand on the controller because I need to fail this to meet the incentive. So it's gonna happen right away.
Otherwise, you have to redo the Bowser fight.
Oh, don't do that. Oh, don't do that.
All right, so right here, that's what I was saying. I would, if I was doing a run, I'd just be holding down, and I'd go down the pipe early. But instead, I'm letting Luigi come too.
Oh.
So that was a small cutscene right here, and he gets to come hang out. So now I have to move all the way to the castle, and time is going to come up at the end of this cutscene coming up here. Basically, Peach is going to look like she's praying or something, and then there's 2 more text boxes, and she's going to raise her hands. When she raises her hands, that's time. All right. So just a little bit of text. All right, 2 more text boxes, and time. Not bad considering the failed Bowser fight, because that's like 9 minutes gone. So that would have been a pretty good run other than that. But anyway, yeah, that's the end. We don't need to watch the credits. They're 9 minutes long, so whoever the next runner is, I think it's Peaches. So you guys can get ready for some SM64 one-handed. It's pretty interesting, so stick around for that.
One more thanks for Anatomyz for Paper Mario. As he already mentioned, next up we got Peaches playing Super Mario 64 with one hand. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.